Well, everybody, we are back. Campaign 2 is ready to start. We have all of our original cast here. Todd, Kelly, Drew, and Allie. Everyone here to kick off the new characters that we use during Darkest House. If you're not familiar with what we're doing here, this is a horror-based game. I love horror. It's one of my favorite things. It's what we started playing on this channel over on Twitch 3 years ago, which is really wild to say. But the most important thing isn't that we are doing any form of the campaign tonight. It's that it's Todd's birthday tonight. That's the most important thing, everybody. Everybody in chat, give my happy birthday. I'm going to show our trailer off. If you remember the old one, it's very similar with just a few changes. Well, everybody, we are here. It is time. We have new overlays, a new show, the same players. It's been a while since we've been to Ethauntia. We did our little spooktacular, but we've never played in this area before. Ethauntia is rife with superstitions and cults and keepers, the dead gods or forgotten gods of the world. And I've always believed that gods get their power from their followers, like the true faith. They became so prominent after the Sundering and the years of darkness and the tides swelling and swallowing the world. But up in the snow-peaked caps of Moldavia, they still have fresh water. And unfortunately, because they have fresh water, people do come here and try to steal from them. If you want to relate this to something in our world, Romania or Transylvania, and that's probably the closest thing with a mix of the Appalachian Trails in the US. That's Moldavia on a very light note. So I brought out my old book. For those who don't know, this was a piece made for the show. We're back into this. And there are no hero points granted in cards anymore. Instead, the only way for our players to get hero points is through patches, which some of you lovely citizens out there have them. And you can grant them to a player, put it in chat if someone needs one, and you can use your patch. Some of our players, the selfish ones, bought themselves two to cheat the system. I know who you are, and I'll make sure you use all of them every show. But there are other ways for them to gain things, and that's through learning about Moldavia. Not many of my players have been here before, in all the years that I've been running this. So during the show, you're going to hear about superstitions, and if they happen twice in an episode, the same superstition, they become permanent. And one of our cryptids in the area, or keepers, grows stronger. So everybody, welcome tonight to Ethauntia Campaign 2. Superstitions. We're starting off with the two people that we did not see during our lovely spooktacular. Now, I was saying they're cousins. I've been messing it up the whole time. They are actually siblings. Two silhouettes can be seen tramping through snow almost up to their shoulders. Behind them, someone taller can be seen carrying a torch along with a bundled up, maybe a dog? Or some form of pack animal, as they are making their way towards a cliff edge in the middle of this storm. Lightning of green flashes across the sky, and you can see the ridge line and a tall silhouette of a tower. Upon marching closer, they can see this is a lift that must go down to the lower plateaus. Most of Moldavia, you can travel, at least to the bigger cities, by gondola. But here, on the outskirts, it's by foot. So with that, let's bring in our two players. Hi, Allie. Hi, Drew.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
You all are playing siblings, which is going to be very different for Drew and almost like playing Dragonlance again for Allie. She likes siblings. She likes a support structure to push all of the poor decisions onto. So, I had you two roll some fort saves. Oh, God, it's so great to be back to a 3-save system. I had you roll some fort saves before we go. Would you, Allie, like to tell me what you got?
Absolutely. I got a good old-fashioned 26.
And I asked you, are you happy with that?
I think you actually said nice, and I said, are you sure you don't mean are you happy with that? Because no.
No, I
but
didn't
it's the best I can do.
Because I'm asking it here. Are you happy with that?
Oh, I see. That's a 17 on the dice. I don't think that my dice would want to roll higher than that. And
now,
I'm not going to risk it for this biscuit.
For everyone, we're level 3 characters. So, I mean, we are lower level. DCs are a little different in Pathfinder. They get a lot larger than other games. But that's not a bad roll. To your side is your brother. Two dwarves, like I said, snow up your shoulders, carving a path through everything, trying your best to get through what's going on. And I asked Drew the same thing to make a fort save. And what did you get?
I rolled a 23.
That is a pretty good roll. I'm not even going to ask you if you want to do anything about that. You seem confident in it, and when you sent me your message, do you still feel confident in it now?
I guess.
And you also asked me a very important question.
Yeah, what was that for?
It's a great question. Well, there is an ether storm out here. It is cold. And on top of it being cold, in the distance when that lightning flashes, you see smoke that isn't clouds and some wreckage in the distance off the plateau. With you is a woman who walks up bundled with a tall dog-like companion. Its weird reptilian eye comes out from underneath this fur cowl as Lysynthia and Reiki make their way over to the lift and start pouring oil over the frozen parts. She looks to the two of you and goes, "Look, all I know is there was supposed to be a ship landing in Merrifield bringing supplies, and it did not happen." Lightning flashes again, and over the plateau edge, over 100 foot down, you can see the burning wreckage of an airship. We need to get this thing running. If we're going to make it to the outpost before the end of the night, before we freeze to death out in this fucking cold. Are any of you able to get this thing running? Otherwise, we're climbing.
How bad does it look?
It is
Like,
frosted
flaming
over.
wreckage.
So you live on the East Coast. You ever walk out to your car after a night of it just snowing, and then you walk out and there's like half an inch of ice on your car, and you're like, fuck. It's like that, but inside the ice, you can see faces and spirits moving within this green glass-like ice. Can I get a survival from the two of you?
Good.
Sure. Let's see. Finally getting to use my Ethauntia dice in Ethauntia.
I know. You haven't been able to do that. I should probably get dice out for this game.
That's a 15.
Okay. You've never seen anything like this before. You two have been in Moldavia for a while, right? Working, living here. How long has it been for you two?
Oof. I mean, we were born up here.
Well, we were born in the mountains. But we made our way out independently. And I was actually out of the mountain when the sundering happened. That's when our father went missing.
That was quite some time ago.
It was a while ago. But I've been in this area probably, I don't know, 15, 20 years.
Okay. You have seen storms before. What did you get on your survival check?
Well, with these nifty Ethauntia dice, I'm starting the game off with a fucking 20, Eric.
So
that is a 29.
Betrayed
survival.
By my own dice I had made for everybody. You have heard of these storms before. Ether storms are rare. What happens is when a really bad like snowstorm rolls in, it is coupled with remnants of spirits, and the storm itself encapsulates the spirits and rains it down on the plateaus. And the ice is semi-magical, and it literally fetters spirits until it's melted.
Ooh.
And what happens to the spirits when it melts?
They're released.
Right. So we don't want to melt that at all. At least not while we're around. Feck. All right.
Cynthia goes,
we'll
whoa, hold on a minute. Some spirits is not that big of a deal. There's got to be a way to salt this ice and make a way through.
Do you have salt?
Reiki. And it walks up next to her and she pulls this like poncho fur that's over top of it of white and blue, pulls it over, and you can see there's scales at the end of the fringe around it that are semi like shiny, and she flips it over. They're a bronzish coppery color, and reaches in a pouch and pulls out a large bag of salt. She goes, I always have salt. You live in Merrifield and you were down where I lived. You carried salt on you like you carried water.
I mean, I have some for tanning, but that's about it.
It ain't for that.
I don't.
Right. Well, you want to do your whatever you want to do there?
We need to melt it.
Back
As it's melting, we'll put some salt in it. I believe we can keep this thing at least fettered to the area. We just need to get the gearbox working. The weight of the lift, I assume, would drop the lift down so we can start using it. Who's got the better craft between you two?
I have a
believe
6.
you do.
A 6.
Mine is a 9. No, it shouldn't be a 9. It should be a 7. A 7.
Okay.
Does one want to aid the other? One of the big changes in the remastered is aid is no longer a 20. To aid somebody else, it's a 15. They went, maybe 20 at low levels is shitty. And they've changed it to make it a little easier for everybody.
I
All right.
will attempt to aid you.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
I do not.
Okay.
Ooh.
Would you
Okay.
would you like to make a superstition for a hero? Hero point.
Yeah, I'll make one. Melting ether ice is a bad fucking idea.
That's not a superstition. That's a fact. I need a
Oh,
superstition.
that's common sense. I'm
That's
sorry.
common sense.
Right.
There's a difference. There's a major difference, my friend.
We're in an ether storm right now, right?
Yes, you are in an ether storm on a plateau. Yes. In the mountains of Moldavia.
You do not want to spend. I'm going to say the superstition is in an ether storm. You do not want to spend more than 10 seconds in the wind. Like just in the wind. Like you want to have connection to like the ground or a wall. Like you want to have at least one point of contact on the earth at the same time. So like if you are flying in an ether storm, you do not want to do that. You want to touch the ground.
I'm assuming that has to do with being possessed. Is that the superstition?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it comes from literally being grounded and not being completely surrounded by spirits.
And your character's name for the audience is Regdir, right?
Regdir.
Regdir?
Regdir Barach.
Regdir. Well, Regdir, I will grant you a lovely hero point for that superstition. If it gets used again during the show, it becomes permanent.
I still do not aid.
All right, still don't aid. It's frozen
What am I
over.
loaded at?
That's what it looks
20, I
like
guess.
to you. But maybe your sister's better at this. What do you have for your craft?
That is a 15.
A 15. You think over the
Yeah.
course of about 30 minutes between heat and chiseling, you could get this gearbox working again.
Okay.
And maybe the weight will get this thing running. The greatest fear, granted, you live in Moldavia. Everything's built here to work in the cold. It's ran quite frequently. This one just froze up because of the storm. It's not like it was frozen solid and left like this for years.
Okay.
You think about 30 minutes, you could get this thing running. This is going to be our first challenge for it. You can use a skill. We are looking for a total of 6 victory points to get this thing free in a downtime challenge. You can use craft, you could use alchemy, whatever it is you want to use to add towards this. Lysynthia is going to use occult, or occult for those who watch the show, to keep the spirits maintained and make sure something doesn't go wrong. I will tell you, critical failures risk the chance of being possessed. I'll start. Okay. Who wants to go? What skill do you want to go to, you two? I got us 2 points towards it.
So I think I would go ahead and roll so I originally was actually going to go ahead and produce flame
That works,
for
if
something
you'd
like
to.
this. Okay, awesome.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use produce flame to
Just give me a
start a heat source.
Give me a spellcraft, or what is your casting? Nature, right? You're druid, so give me a nature check because you're trying to warm the ice, melt it properly, not let it fall down into the gears.
19.
19, okay. That is 1 more point towards it. What about you? What about you, good sir? What do you want to do for us? How is the dwarven brother going to help release this lift?
I'm assuming the lift is counterweighted.
Correct. It is.
Okay.
It's not a manual one where you gotta hoist it. It's made to bring supplies down to the outpost. It's like,
right, but like it's
15 by 20. It's a pretty big lift, and it is counterweighted.
So the weight of the piece itself is not going to do anything because it's balanced out. So I'm going to. Are there any trees around?
Sure, they're frozen, but there's definitely trees. There's probably down to one somewhere. I mean, the size of these mountains are rolling pines. You could go search if you'd like to make a survival to find a felled tree somewhere and drag it over with you and Reiki. Reiki could assist you in getting it over here.
What is the is the mechanism side by side, like the arbor for the counterweight? Is it next to the lift, or is it like removed, like ponied, so to speak?
It's side by side.
It's side by side.
And some of the components are inside the mountain that you can't see because it's like frosted over.
Right. I'm trying to figure out.
I will tell you, it is
again, it's
dwarven
not my
made,
strong
though.
suit.
It is dwarven made. No ski chairs, Starger. No ski chairs.
No ski chairs.
You need craft. You could do survival to help melt the snow. You could use athletics to climb and chisel some of the lower ice off.
I'll probably use. She poured oil on it, right?
Oil and salt mixture to help the burning process that your sister is currently doing. Sure.
Oh,
Sure.
what we want to do is actually burn it from the bottom so that the flame goes up.
Yeah, the problem
So-
you don't want to go all the way down there. She says that is over 100-foot climb down that ice. We're not gonna drop fire through, and like when you look down, you can't see the bottom. It's just snowstorm. Pick a skill, man.
I guess I'm just going to use survival then to try and help with the fire to get the mechanism going.
So you're spreading it out, hitting some of the other four corners of the post to make sure that all the rails that it's in are defrosted, that it can get moving. Give me your survival check as well.
It's only a 14.
14 will get 1. So we're currently at 4 points. It budges, and you hear a deep groan from the metal, which takes us to our other people down in the outpost. It's been a long night for the people who have been at the outpost. It's not been a safe night, and it sure as shit has not been an enjoyable night. As a matter of fact, you saw a young child die, turn into a spirit, get bound to a book, and climb out of some form of multi-eyed and mouth skin bag made of goat and human. This was not a normal night at all. Kelly, Todd, you guys got to play in the Spooktacular, and it's obviously our retelling of the thing, or at least my retelling of the thing, and it did not go great for anybody.
No.
About, I'd say, 30 minutes after that fight, and everyone's kind of gathering themselves. So you would have had 30 minutes of rest to get your focus points back, because that's, what isn't it, 10 minutes per focus point, right? If you want to get a focus point back, you could have done that. The gentleman who was with you, I'll pull him back up on screen, and I'll pull our manor up for us as well. He goes back to finish cooking. He says, look, we have to burn this body, and you guys ignite it. You drag it outside. He tells you not to touch it with your hands. Drag it outside, burn it in the snow. We don't need this thing burning up our house. And he will help you get it out. And after that, he will continue cooking food. During that, you're welcome to ask this man any questions and talk to him during those 30 minutes of time. He is pretty kind. Raimundo is a fetterer. He specializes in taxidermy and fettering spirits to taxidermied animals to give people a second chance at life. Right? Sounds great. What could go wrong? So, with that, the two of you drag it out, I'm assuming. How do you want to go about moving this amorphous blob-like creature out of here and outside?
I will use my latent abilities to create some hooks, some tools, like a long shafted tool with a big hook on the end. I'll make one for Maria and make one for myself and just hook that sucker and drag it outside.
How the fuck are you making this stuff?
Well, I concentrate, and I have that aura that comes about me, the clockwork bits that are heated from the inside, they're like molten.
Oh, okay.
And they concentrate in my hand, and they make a tool out of metal, and it can be whatever basic tool I really need.
Oh,
and
gaffer hooks.
I'll hand one to her. Yeah, gaffer hooks. There you go. And I'll hand one to her, and I'll say, it's like, just be careful. It's not exactly stable. It'll get the job done, but it'll probably break in the getting it done. So just be aware. Look out for sharp edges.
Now, in a normal game, you would be able to do this without rolling, but because of what this creature is, unfortunately, we will be rolling to safely get this thing out of here.
Okay.
Okay.
So the tool will work until it's used, and then when it completes a job, you roll a flat check, and it might just break. So have fun with that.
Fun. So, what skill would the two of you or individually like to use to get this thing out, or does one aiding the other?
I could use athletics to just give the old Evo.
Sure. Are you aiding one another then? You're muted, Kelly.
I have a different skill in mind.
I could do athletics. I've got a +8.
All right. Is one of you better than the other?
All right.
To aid one another?
She's better than I am.
All right, so give me that 15. And aren't you really good at aiding?
Burke? I'm a very cooperative human.
Burke, right? I'm pronouncing that right. I know she's Maria, and yours is
right.
Burke.
Burke
Sievers.
Burke Sievers.
All right. Sound like a superhero.
Oh, that's a very good assist. Let me.
What type of bonus you giving her?
Double check. Well, I'm only trained, so it can't go higher than a plus. Ooh, let me just. I have the aid stuff right in front of me. Yes, a +2.
Okay. All right. Now, what you got, Kelly?
Okay, I got a really bad rolls for the day. I got an 18.
That's good. That's totally fine. Okay. It's a 15. Move it out. It is a large creature. It does take a little bit to gather it up and get it moving out of here. As you do pick it up and drag it outside and get it lit on fire, the two twins, when you look around, are gone. You heard footsteps earlier. They ran upstairs, and this is their words to me. Ran upstairs, and you can hear playing somewhere within the second floor. And kids just giggling and talking to each other. One voice is a little more discernible, the little girls. The boys kind of goes in and out like a radio station. And with that, you both need to make me a will save for fear.
Fun times.
Can't believe they would scare their own mother like this. I got a 19.
Okay.
Their own adopted mother.
I got a 20, dirty 20.
Since neither one of you are afraid, you have been hardened and resolved. You both gain 6 extra temporary hit points for the day.
Nice.
Okay.
10 minutes to burn it. Another 20 passes. 30, he says food should be done in an hour. As you hear him bang something inside of a pan in the kitchen, there is a groan. Something falls on the roof. Snow slides off the roof and covers the front porch and door, putting out the fire that you had set to the body outside. If they would have gotten all 6 of them in one go, it would have been fine. They're short 1. The heat is starting to melt some of the snow along the side of the plateau and dropping it on the outpost. What would the two of you like to do as you see the fire outside through the windows snuff out for the creature that you're burning?
I might as well put these to the test. Maybe. Let me see real quick.
I don't know what you're putting to the test. I am worried.
Actually, no. I think I have. Actually, no. We'll do it. We'll figure it. Okay. I took on my gloves
Okay.
and I go back outside. I stay
Okay.
about 10 feet away. You can tell me to shove it or not, but I figure I might as well test them out. It's a new item.
I'm totally fine with you putting yourself in harm's way.
Yeah, so I head out there. I stay about 10 feet away from the corpse, at least what I can see of it. And I pull out my scorpion whip,
Oh.
and as a reaction, I activate the Isamoto gloves
Okay.
and fire races down the whip as I strike the body with it.
So, I left these tiger ray items. The moss that you see on our screen are actually known as tiger rays. They can be small to really large, dire-like creatures in this game. If you played in Living Ethauntia, you know that these creatures can rust metal if they're larger, but they create fire in like molten slag. I didn't say what any of the items look like, other than you know they are tiger rays. I'm assuming you're going to tie it to at least the one that's above you right now and what it looks like.
Yes.
What do your gloves look like? Is it one glove? Is it a pair of gloves? What does it look like? Because I'm pretty open for this.
I think it is a pair of gloves.
Okay.
And they are mostly like a black, almost like a black leather.
Mm-hmm.
And then where the wings are, or at least on the icon there, like the wings have been kind of split and separated, so they almost form like a little decorative pattern on the
back of the hand,
the back side of it,
Mm-hmm.
the back of the hand. And then they kind of like turn into like dissipate, or the design goes into like licking flames.
Nice.
Down the fingers.
With that, you're whipping into the snow splits and begins to melt, and it hits the ground, and there is no pile of skin left.
All right.
Do you slam the door shut? Or do you go outside?
I slam the door shut.
Okay.
I turn around to Burke, and we just met.
Yeah, you are
there's nothing underneath-
newly found friends.
Right, I'm like, there's nothing underneath that snow pile.
There have to be remains, right? I mean, would it just
There is.
dissolve?
I mean, I can go back out there, but I wanted to slam the door before it snuck in.
Are there other
If it's out there.
predators out here that would have dragged it away? If so, that could be a problem.
Well, I will say we did have goats. We did have a bear at some point during the spooktacular, sort of a bear. There was the man who's in the house, and there were a bunch of dead bodies about quarter mile, half mile from here, out towards the burning wreckage, which the fire is still going and has not died. You can see the smoke and the fire in the distance, the green lightning across the sky. And there are piles of snow. More snow is falling from the cliff edge, and the rumble is going on. Have either of you, I know obviously Seavers has not been here before, but Maria, you've worked in Moldavia for a while. Have you been to this outpost before? Is this kind of part of your route during travels? Are you at least familiar with the outpost?
I think a little bit, just going back, looking at my background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because then she went to there. Yes, so Maria came with her mentor.
Okay.
The trip, the original idea was to travel to Moldavia to like finish her training.
Mm-hmm.
And he died.
Oh.
In Moldavia. She's been kind of at a loss as to what to do. She has like a few people that she knows.
Okay.
And everyone thinks he died, and she thinks he might have died as well, but his soul isn't fully captured. And so she's afraid that part of him may have survived and turned into the thing that...
You're dealing with?
No, not this necessarily. That hit a little too on the nose.
Oh, it's on the nose?
But
Okay.
that's one of the reasons why she stayed here. So yeah, she's kind of familiar with this area.
Okay.
She has gone to Merrifield once or twice.
Have you been here at least a season or two? Like, have you been through a few
Yeah.
winters here, like hard winters?
Yeah.
All right. You know then that while you've been through a few seasons, if that snow is falling, one of a few things are happening. There's an avalanche coming, which would really suck. You are tucked under the side of a plateau, so that it wouldn't directly bury you, but it would cover a good front of it. There are plenty of shovels here. You do know this place is routinely patrolled, like once every other month during the season. Or the lift is being activated and that's knocking snow down. That's the best case scenario. You did hear a loud groan. The worst case scenario is that the ether storm not only caused some form of a avalanche, but it is also creating pockets of ether snow, which is a snow that is light and moves with the wind, like huge drifts of it. And then when the etherealness leaves it, it just drops like footfalls of snow in a matter of seconds. That is the worst case scenario. It's worse than the avalanche. It'll bury this entire place in, and then it turns to ice. Outside of just snow so far, are you or Burke going back outside?
Best case scenario, Burke, is that someone has activated the lift. But that's really not the best case scenario if that thing is still alive. So
we should go get it, just to be sure.
I mean, we can go talk to our host and see what he suggests.
Sure. He's definitely been here for a long time.
Yeah, he's been here longer than I have, for sure, it seems like, and it sounds like he's had more experience with dealing with these types of things. So.
Okay.
Okay.
So you make your way through the house back to speak to him. Burke, you've been given access to the house, even though you are a worshiper of the true faith. But after this situation, he's not going to really hold you off limits. I'll pull the character up on screen here so that the audience can also see him. Where are you at, good sir?
Not a worshiper.
I know.
Yeah,
You're
just
wearing
stuck wearing the
you're wearing
clothes.
it, and he calls you a worshiper.
Wearing.
If
the
you
clothes
if
of one, yeah, I
you
know.
if you wear NASCAR gear, you follow NASCAR. You know what I'm saying?
If you are wearing NASCAR gear because you were given it as a uniform, no matter what,
Then
had
you
to wear
worked
it,
for NASCAR, and that's
and
worse.
you've lived in a hostile environment for a year, you'd still be wearing your NASCAR gear. It doesn't mean you're a fan.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Renamundo, he is finishing cooking some of this meat that he has with him. The kitchen is warmer than the rest of the house. The meat is thawing on a table. Underneath the table, there's a small coal fire, and he is cooking. And as he is, what is the passive perceptions between the two of you? Who's got does anyone have over a 15 for passive?
Got
Mine's right at
17.
15.
Yeah. Both of you do?
No.
No?
Mine's at 15.
I've got 17.
Okay. You would notice something slide by the window towards the back door into the house. And he goes,
Burke.
food is still at least another, I would say, 30 to 40, maybe an hour. Thawing this meat takes so damn long. I usually do this the day before.
I'm gonna motion to Burke to talk to him. I'm gonna go follow the shadow sliding past the windows.
Okay. Are you going to the back door? Or are you going outside?
I'm gonna go to the back door to see if it's trying to break in.
Hmm.
Where I am on here.
You're on the stairs.
Yeah, I see now.
They're back
Is the
in this
back
room here.
door-
Over here is where the back door is. You can see it out the back. Right.
So right here.
Here.
Yeah. Okay.
There is glass. It's frosted over. There are one window on the back wall into the room. Something moved by. This area is even covered to go outside just to stop wind when you first open the door from blowing into the house. Are you going out, or are you just trying to like wipe the window and look and see if there's anything in that little patio area, the little breezeway?
For right now, I'm gonna wipe the window because he told us not to go out,
Mhm.
and instead we might have to go out. But I don't want to like be like, bye. So
Okay, so you're just checking it then? As you kind of blow on it and like
Right now.
wipe the frost off with your gloves that are still a little warm. Outside, there is a silhouette of a person. When you kind of light it up and the light pours out, you can see they have like a wool or a wool and fur large hood over top of them. They are wearing a Hand of Air True Faith symbol. Standing outside the
No.
door. Yes, there is.
I know I'm not letting him in.
They reach out and knock once. It's Cole. Can you let us in?
How do we pronounce his name? Raimundo?
Yeah, Raimundo.
Raimundo?
Mhm.
Raimundo, we've got some abandoned True Faith members,
No.
but
You don't let those people in. You leave the door locked. They can't get in. The doors are solid.
well, the reason I'm mentioning it is because I don't know if Burke had a chance to tell you, the corpse you're trying to burn has vanished. So
He stopped stirring for a second. What do you mean vanished?
I mean, the snow fell on it. I went to go reignite the body, and it was gone.
Well, then we should lock all the doors, check the house, keep everything locked. The shutters are already closed for the most part. The second floor should be checked as well. There is a ladder leading to a door in case there's too much snow. And you're like, I don't want to leave the food. I'll burn the food, and we don't have anything to eat, then we starve.
Who's at the door? What are you guys talking about?
And with that, as you walk over, I'm going to transfer us back to the people upstairs. Allie, Drew, you've been working at this for a while. The lift feels like it should move. It's just stuck. It's close to it, but it's not 100%. Like, it budged some, you lift it back up, you drop it some, you lift it back up, you drop it some. Like, Cynthia's like, look, I'm going to be honest, this is fucking infuriating. It is cold out. It has been 30 minutes that we've been trying to do this. All we're doing is knocking snow off the side of the plateau, but seeing that climbing is a horrible idea. And you see some of the snow that has melted down to a pile is kind of formed and solidified, and she salted it, and you can see a spirit moving inside the salt and the snow and the ice. I'm going to be honest with you. I have another option, but it is loud.
George is going to take a quick look around. I'd like to go ahead and roll in nature to see if that might trigger an avalanche.
Sure, good call.
Yeah, define loud, because an avalanche here would not be great.
Well, it's loud, but it is fire. And I think it'll cover at least a 60-foot run down this thing.
Right, but if it's loud, it could trigger an avalanche. That's not good.
It's better than climbing, right? Look, I'm new to here, but...
I'm not. I'm telling you, I would much rather climb than there be a fucking avalanche for us to deal with.
What'd you get on your survival?
I'm going to agree with my brother on this one. It might just be a superstition around these parts, but I hear if you die frozen to death during an ether storm, your soul can never rest. Your body becomes something different than it was, and I don't want that kind of... Well, anyways, I'm going to re-roll that too.
Re-roll that too? You making a superstition?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Frozen
Way...
in an ether storm. You become something else. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
You become...
Your body becomes something else.
your body. Oh, I know what this is going to be.
And your spirit can never rest.
Something. Well, that's just normal around here.
Well, yeah,
All
but you know,
right.
doesn't really. Yeah,
What'd you get on your
That's way
second
better.
one?
way better with a 21.
Would you like a +2 to survival with the travel?
what? I think
Because this has to do with
I
travel.
would love that. I would love that
We'll use
because
serving hands then. First
perfect.
card
that
of
makes
the
it a
night. What is the
Michael
total?
Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
So it would possibly cause an avalanche. You are on a flat part of the plateau. The only thing it would really do is probably drop snow from the ledge down below. As long as you all are in a stable area, you should be okay. Because the mountain's too far away, like the next mountain, to really bury this in. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Is there anything in that area that would be like? Is there a small settlement or any houses or anything that would be affected by that?
You could give me a roll for that if you want. Oh, what's your passive? That's probably a better question for this. What's your passive?
Perception?
No. This would be knowledge based. This would be like society or geography or
Nature?
no. It's not nature.
Okay.
It's gonna be society. It's about people.
My
Is
passive's
geography under nature now? That's a good question actually for PF2. Todd, do you know offhand?
I think it is.
It is nature? Okay. So yeah, then if you want to use nature, would you like the passive focus card? Gives you a +2 to a
sure.
passive, or sorry. Yeah, +2 to passive focus. Or mountain lore, that would be good as well, yeah.
Oh. Hang on 1 second.
He's like, hold on, pause for station identification. I forgot I broke the game by adding something that wasn't during my character at level 3 by not reading the rules.
That's not.
He's like, I'm a master in dwarven lore. What?
No, I am not a master in dwarven lore.
He'd be an expert if he had it, yeah.
Oh no. Okay. No, that's.
So just give me your
something
nature.
else.
Just give me your nature.
Passive nature with a +2 is a 19.
A 19. So we'll use KJ's passive focus. A 19. There are settlements, but they're so far away. This would have to be extraordinarily loud. And if the airship crashing didn't cause it, whatever she's going to do probably won't either.
Okay.
She goes, listen, it's not, I mean, it's loud. It'll be loud to us. I definitely recommend plugging your ears. But I have a liquid gunpowder that we can use to melt some of the snow quicker.
I'm sorry, what?
It's a concoction that someone in Merrifield was making. We use it when we have problems on the railroad. We use it to clear paths.
Liquid gunpowder.
She
All
pulls out a metal container, like an oil can, and she unturns the oil can, flips it over and screws it back in, and she starts pouring it down the beams in the tracks. And she climbs out and pours it down another beam, climbs out to the one way out and pours it down another. And she's climbing pretty well, but still 100 foot's 100 foot. And she comes back and she re-screws it in, and Reiki walks around out of the way. And she pulls her cowl down really far, puts her hands over. She's like, I would definitely say cover your ears. Now, she ignites it. There's a burst of flame. It wraps up and around the top part and down the 4 pylons with the track system in it. And once in a while, there's a large boom or a crackle or a pop, as it is large chunks of gunpowder that aren't liquefied quite well enough. And there are small explosions. Down below, the group hears more snow fall on the roof, burying the front of the house up to the 2nd story. The lift begins to groan. Gearbox comes loose from the ice and is functioning. She goes, well, wasn't that bad. See? No avalanche. She points as lightning crackles again. we should be fine.
Keyword there is should.
You got to take a
Right.
risk, or there is no reward. Right?
Well, right.
If you're trying to survive, you don't really take risks. That's the whole point.
You haven't been to Battlefield, but it doesn't matter. Are we good? Can we take the lift? Y'all ready?
Hey,
She gets on the lift. She goes, just so you know, if you ever in Merrifield, the entire time that you live there, everything is a risk. From walking down the street to waking up in a different area. It's not a normal city. So this isn't really a risk. This is like tying your shoes.
I'm glad I live here then.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Merrifield's not always that great. And the lift groans and go. Everyone downstairs can hear the lift. I'm going to bring our cast together as the lift is coming down, and our group is deciding what they want to do. I will go back and forth between the two until they can meet. It is true that you all know about the outpost. The Tarnhaven is a well-known outpost. It has been here for as long as any of you have lived here. It has turned hands and is currently used as a reliquary testing site where they build reliquaries, test fettering, and out here it is different. For those that are faithful to the true faith, fettering out here is not a science per se. It is like baking without a recipe. It may be great, or it may turn into a taxidermied animal that is rampaging through a small village because someone did it wrong. They usually go to people who specialize. The elders out here, the witches that are out here, the trained followers of keepers. In this case, it is one man who is of science that does it, who is cooking your dinner right now. So we bring everybody in. As the snow plummets down, the front of the house gets buried in. The lift comes to a rest at the bottom. You decided not to open the back door, and you ran around, I'm assuming, locking the doors down. Is that the plan for the two people inside Terranav's outpost?
Yes. I mean, unless Burke has something different in mind.
So there are two of you covering this place. We are currently looking at the first floor. There are only three entrances in
There's three.
on the first floor. The first entrance is covered in snow. The second entrance on the the west, has a good chance of being covered. And then I'm going to show you the second floor, and you can decide how you want to handle that. The second floor, back over here above, there's a balcony. There's a ladder that goes up to it on the north side. And then there is a second floor entrance as well, right above where currently Maria is standing. How do you want to split up to lock the doors in this place? Because it's going to be a check between the person outside and you all locking the doors up. And then we will go to the two outside plus Lysynthia as the lift lands. How do you want to split it up?
0.
Burke, how long do those contraptions last? And you said until they do their job?
Oh, the gaffs I made, like 10 minutes at the most.
They'd be gone by now.
We never cracked the entropy factor, so stuff vanishes quick.
The guy stirring stops for a second. The what?
I'm speaking Kadraig because I do not know Moldovan? What's the
M.A. Moldovan. Mall.
Okay.
Is in like a mall.
I don't know that language. So whatever you two are discussing, I have no idea.
That's our common, right?
Yes. He said, I speak Cadraic as well. I trained in Cadra for 5 years. Under the Emerald
good.
Order, I learned to fetter.
And
Well,
that's
this is a
putting souls in objects, right?
Correct. Yes. Some of the animals in here do have souls in them. You can speak to them on Tuesdays.
Are they people or are they animals?
Tuesdays.
That is a good question. I didn't ask. I just took the souls as test subjects to try. Some are animals, some are people.
So you solved the problem with the ghouls, right? Because you could just take the people who died and put them in basically new bodies? Is that what's going on?
The ghouls?
While they're talking, I'm just gonna go upstairs and start
Yep,
locking
I was going to
doors.
say, his time is ticking, and they're having a conversation about history.
I'm
You're
like,
going
okay,
upstairs.
Well, you guys have a good talk about
Alright.
that. I will chime in with my expertise later. I'm gonna go upstairs.
So as you go upstairs, you hear the kids laugh again. A door shuts randomly in one of the rooms. Another door opens. You're pretty sure the kids are playing tag or chasing or hide and seek, but you have not seen them.
Well, hopefully, Clara's not hungry after her meal from last time. Earlier.
That's a really good question.
evening.
Yeah, I don't know. It hasn't been that long. I think she's okay.
Okay. So as I go up, I'm just gonna say, Clem, Clara, if anyone tries to break in, you know what? Maybe just fill up again. I don't know. I'm gonna
You hear
go to
giggling.
the door.
You hear giggling again in one of the rooms, and another door shuts, and you hear a voice goes, "I got you. Your turn to hide." And you're
Okay.
gonna go lock the door, so you go to the back door. I need an initiative roll between me and you. Actually, just an initiative roll versus a DC. This could be perception. This could be athletics. If you are running, that probably makes the most sense. If you're trying to get there fast.
Yeah, I would say probably athletics. Because at first I was like, all right, Burke's gonna come with me. We're gonna take care of these doors. Maybe,
They're having science
Raimundo's gonna
talk
lock the
downstairs.
back.
Yeah.
Nope, they're having science
talk.
time.
Science time is important time.
So
What do you got?
I've decided to run my ass upstairs. Oh, that's actually pretty good. I got a 24.
24 is great. You beat it to the first one. You lock the door. You don't even see anything on the second floor. Back downstairs to Todd, Burke. He goes, no. The ghouls never made it up into Moldavia. I was gone way before that. Are you speaking of the ether ghouls, the ones that the witches make?
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
They are these creepy creatures where a woman of power pulls the soul. I think the science of fettering came from this. And they rip it out and shove it back into a dead corpse to reanimate it. It's quite a spiritual science. If you're speaking of just the cannibalistic ghouls, the ones that eat people, the rotting flesh, yeah, we have those around here. They're usually frozen. Be honest, you don't see them often during the summer, mostly in the spring when the snow melts. The dead that are left behind from avalanches are hungry from being buried, and you will find them sometimes in that buried snow. We do our best to clean them, but you lose a few here and there, a village now and then.
So this fettering is what is usually done when someone passes, right? So they're not lost.
Correct, yes. It stops the spirit from roaming and becoming the storm you have outside, or becoming malevolent and killing their family, or being sick and causing curses and diseases within a well. There are many reasons that you try to give spirits a peace, harmony. I find that fettering them to the animals usually makes them happy. I do make sure the animals cannot move. They are pinned and board, so they cannot walk from the pedestals, but at least they have the ability to watch and speak during the certain days. With that, you waste another action talking to him. Another round, yeah. And then it goes back to Maria running around. Maria, where would you like to go next? Oh, wrong one. Whoop. That's Allie. Hi, Allie. Wrong person. Where would you like to go next?
So this is like a balcony,
Yep.
right, that I locked up.
Yep. You can see the snow is kind of piled down back there. There's no lights outside. About 20 foot from there, it hits the side of the plateau.
Okay.
This black
I'm
hued
not quite
rock.
sure. I'm not quite sure if that's like another door going into a storage area, but if it is, they're hopefully going to be stuck in that room.
Which one are you talking about?
But I do. So I'm in this room right here, but then I see like I'm just gonna move my character over
I see
for
you.
visual.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
I see this right here. I don't know if that's a door or not, and I don't know how I can get
It is. It is. When people come that are like say travelers, they instead of coming into the main home, they would stay in that small extra room.
Okay.
To be away from the
Well,
house, kind of like a no ask. It's an outpost. You need a place to stay. You never even have to visit anyone. It's just for people to use.
Okay, well, if...
But the only way into that room is
brave...
outside.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So if that group is brave enough to try and come up here and get into there, more power to them. We can lock them in and whatever.
Sure.
But I know that when I was in the kitchen originally, the guy was by the door here.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to now try and race over to this room and close this up.
Then I need a roll between me and you. Because this one matters, because I started going up the second set of stairs.
Okay. I am going to spend a patch.
All right, patch it up. I'm going to blow through hero points today. I can already feel it.
That was a 4.
We do. We always do. You're all right.
Okay, that was a lot better. That's a 22.
A 22 is enough. You get there as you see the hand reach out for the door. I had a 19 to open it, and you lock it, and it struggles with the door, and you see the head slide in. It's all shadowed. Do you stick around, or do you run to the next area?
I'm gonna try and run to the next area.
Okay. As you begin to run to the next area, then. All right.
Like, and as I shut it, like, I don't know if I can like put a chair in front of it or whatever.
Sure, I don't care. That's fine. You like pry one against it because the doors do swing in, not out. Anywhere where you have snow this heavy, doors don't go out because you'll never get them open. They always swing in. If you're not from the Midwest or the East Coast, doors always swing in so you don't die from being buried in your home in snow so you can shovel your way out. So you start running to, I'm assuming, the downstairs then.
Yes.
Okay. As you do outside, we have the other group.
I'm just gonna go.
By Cynthia and looks and goes, ooh, I think we buried the outpost. Outpost is maybe like 25, 30 foot from the lift. It's very close to it. There's a small path in between, now buried in snow. Reiki kind of moves some snow around, hops up on top, and you see that this lizard-like creature is wearing weird snowshoes. As it hops up on the snow and starts running, she rattles something off to it, and it runs out and around the building. Reiki's going to scout. If he sees anything, he'll drag it back.
Nice.
How much is this snow and how much is this ice?
Right now, it is all snow down here. You see the glint of green light moving through it. You're guessing there are chunks of ice underneath. Like the snow fell on ice that is here.
Right. Being from around here and with that roll that I made, do I know that all this is going to turn to ice eventually?
All the snow. No, the stuff that fell off the mountainside or off the plateau side is just snow. It's not ether. Okay. Underneath it is some of the ice, though.
Okay.
There are lights inside the outpost. It is in, pretty decent shape. The outpost is well maintained. It's large. It's 2 floors. The front is buried in. And you guys would be coming, technically this map would be 90, like turned around, but you would be on the right-hand side of the map coming off the lift. And I'll put us back to the first floor. Actually, depends. Are you climbing up the mound, or are you going to go around the back of the building? The 3 of you. Like Cynthia says, I mean, honestly, we're here to see how the outpost is. If the front's buried, is there another entrance? I ain't digging through snow. You would know where all the entrances are.
Before.
I would say that you would, because you've been here before, right? Both of you have? You travel through this area?
Yeah.
You would know that there's multiple entrances and one made for when the snow buries the house.
Right. Yeah, there's a ladder that can go up to the second floor on back. And I think there's a door to the kitchen.
Well, then let's go to the kitchen, right? And sure enough, you do smell food in the crisp, cold night air. She goes, if there's food, Reiki's going there. I told him to do something, but that is not how he works.
Yeah.
Well,
we would
I
definitely.
guess we'll head around that way then.
So heading along the east side of the building, making your way around to the back door. As soon as you kind of like come down off the snowbank, the three of you, where that little part of the building butts out, all the shutters, the snow and storm shutters are closed. There is a person walking towards you, no light, a large parka-styled, long cowled hood to keep the wind out. And it looks up, and there's a glint of light of a metal badge on the shoulder. And she goes, oh, an air marshal. The True Faith. They're maybe it's a captain, maybe it's a survivor from the crash. Perfect music timing.
Hello there.
Hi. Do you have the keys to get inside? I am freezing.
No. But I mean, it looks like there's people inside, though.
I knocked. No one answered.
Guess we'll have to knock harder then.
The front is buried. And he like walks a couple more steps forward. And you can see he's like frost bit on his fingertips.
Oh, that's not good.
And then he's like blowing in it like the best he can to keep himself warm. The ship crashed. The fire there is too dangerous.
What? I mean, it would have kept you warm at least.
Too dangerous to be there.
Oh.
Lysynthia goes, hold on, before you walk any closer, do you mind telling us your name? And you, out of the corner of both your eyes, you see her like hand slide underneath her coat. My name is Nathan. Nathan. Yeah, the last name. Air marshals have a title. She leans into like the two of you, like between you, because she's taller. She stands behind so she can shoot over, and she goes, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. That ship crashed. An air marshal would have jumped with a feather token. There's no way they would have crashed with that ship. If there are survivors, they would have already made camp somewhere. This guy either jumped off early as a coward, or something else. You need to be careful.
Ooh.
It is an ether storm. He might have been in the air too long.
What does that mean?
It's a superstition. This is why you don't want to be just in the air too long during an ether storm. You want to have at least one hand on something, like the ground or a tree, or just not so that the spirits can wrap around you completely.
Well, I'd love to say you get a hero point and it's now permanent.
Oh boy.
And I will draw the circle and start the tracker for this cryptid.
Wait, I thought that was if someone else does it. Can the same person do it 2 times?
I've never said. It's the first show, Drew.
Fucking hell. All right.
You're welcome. You get a hero point,
Yes.
though.
Oh, the pip is on.
With that, what would you two like to do? She is ready, but she is not a local. And she is definitely here with you to recover some stuff from the airship. But locals is your thing, because that is not hers. And as we all know, Lysynthia is a drunk and not really a talker.
Oh my god.
I think
let her hear
also
you
like
say that.
Cynthia may or may not actually supposed to be here. I'll have to rewatch.
I'm gonna designate this guy as my hunt prey for right now.
Well, that's a great time to start with this. Drew, would you like to tell everybody your character's name, what he looks like, and what you're playing?
My character's name is Regdur Barak. He is a dwarven hunter. He is a tracker,
Tracker trapper?
Tracker trapper. He's been known to bounty hunt every once in a while. It's actually taken him out of the area a few times.
Okay.
He has been as far west as past the Maw, and he's been as far east as Cadra.
That's a good set. So you've been into True Faith territory then?
Yeah, he has.
Do you have religion?
No.
Give me an untrained check. 15, I'll give you a little bit of information about the Hand of Air. No.
This
is mental, not a talkie talk.
I'm not proficient in it,
Yep.
and my wisdom's only a 2. I rolled a 12, so it's only a 14.
Would you like to either A, use a hero point, or would you like to use the passive focus bonus? Would your passive focus get you a 15? Your passive's a 12 then, right? 10 plus your bonus?
Correct, yeah.
It won't be high enough either. You know who they are. You don't know much about them, so I can't really give you any extra information.
Yeah, he's ridden on some ships, like the people that like the crews that he's ridden with have talked about air marshals before, but he's not.
You've seen Hand of Air members,
he knows,
but that's it.
Yeah, like he knows that they're the cops of the sky, basically.
Sort
that's
of.
how the people.
That's how the people
that he runs with refers to them as
the sky. Sort of.
That's how the people that he runs with refers to them as. He's like flying.
So, is there anything you'd like to do before I ask your sister what she's doing?
I'm going to make.
Hands played this card.
Ooh, Shift Attitude was just played too by Serving Hands. That is a forced roll for a conversation. You can shift their attitude one step, good or bad.
I'm gonna make a perception check.
Okay.
Or actually, is it? I can't remember. Is it perception or survival that is tracking?
Tracking is survival, I believe.
Okay.
Pretty damn
I'm gonna
sure.
make a survival check.
Okay. What are you trying to do?
I want to look at the tracks in the snow that this person is leaving as it came up to us.
Sure. Okay. This is a travel one. Would you like the +2 for survival?
I would.
Okay. You use
I'm actually
Androsides? Oh, Anna's here. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Anna. I'm actually gonna use that hero point because I rolled a 3, and that's not good enough.
All right. I feel like they should be called soul points for this show.
I'll take that. You said I got a +2?
Plus
so that's
2.
A 21 survival.
The tracks are normal. They're a little heavy, but the person is freezing. There's nothing awkward about the footprints. The gait, though, does not match somebody who's freezing. There's not that like slow toe drag step that you expect if someone's near freezing to death. They are full steps in the snow. Pick up and move. There is no impediment from freezing. That's a 20 you needed for that. So lucky fuck. Something is definitely wrong. I will space from you. We'll go to your sister. Georgia. What does Georgia look like? I know you didn't get your big braid, so.
I know. Georgia does have a very, very large braid that starts pulling hair from, the crown of her head back in. That goes about, midway down her back. Her hair is this very, very dark red color. And you can also see around her neck, it looks like there is like a little bit of, like paint and tattoo work that's been done.
Sure.
But you can't help but notice that there's a very pale, about 2-inch band around her neck that looks like there's a little bit of like light bruising around it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she is dressed in leather armor with like some fur details. And around her belt, she has this like an antler hanging from it, along with like some different baubles. You see like wooden sticks with things carved into them, beads that almost look like prayer beads or a rosary around her. Very bohemian
Okay.
But make it dwarven.
Okay. What is
and
don't you have a Tiger Ray item as well?
I sure do. I absolutely do. So my Tiger Ray item is a scarf that is wrapped around her. You can see it looks like it looks very much like a wing, but has these like large areas of stitching through it that almost look like surgical stitches, kind of holding it together.
Oh, nice.
It's very, very thick. It's really cozy.
So I will say that you are also a druid and Circle of Pine, which is a order for Ethauntia. The Circle of Pine emblem, there's two versions. Allie, you can pick which one you want. I won't say what they are. One of them is a wreath of pine cones with pine needles inside all the little conifer bristles. The other one is blackened, almost like tar covered pine cones, but it's a single one vertical with tar off of it and pine needles hanging from the bottle in like a bushel. Up to you which one it is. I will tell you that it's the two versions of a Circle of Pine.
Okay.
I don't know which one you picked, so it's up to you which one you have. It could be metal, it could be... Because again, in PF2 Remastered, there's no more metal problems for druids. They fucking threw that out the window finally because it was the dumbest goddamn holdover of all time. So you now can have metal. It can be metal, wood, whatever you want it to be. Up to you, but that's the two versions of them. What would you like to do with this person that's in front of you? Your sibling is definitely staring them down. Lysynthia has her hand on her hip. Reiki is nowhere to be seen, which is probably worse than being seen. What would you like to do?
Georgia is actually going to take a step back behind the other two. She's not always the best with people, but she does know her brother well enough to be able to pick up on him being a little hesitant.
Yeah.
And she is going to angle her body and move one of her hands so that it is grabbing one of the items that is kind of hanging off of her belt as she kind of starts to fidget with that.
Okay. With that, the man doesn't walk any closer. The camera slides between the tenuous conversation beginning outside through the window, through the shutters, to the first floor, to Maria running to the next door, while in the background you can still hear Raimundo and Burke having a conversation about something nothing to do with locking doors.
Well, in my defense, they were speaking a language I didn't understand at first,
sure.
and then she ran off. So I'm not.
And this is the first time someone spoke to you in your native tongue, too.
Right, that's true.
So that's fair. So, Maria, you run to the next door. We already know the procedure. Give me your athletics check. It is a little more difficult. Let's see if you can beat me there. And then move yourself to where you're going.
Let's see. So we already took care of the...
I'll move us to the first floor.
Well, technically, the front door's already been taken care of from the snow.
Just the side isn't locked.
So just this...
Over to the right.
This guy right here.
Here, I'll put tokens. So there's one here. This is probably the easiest way to mark. And then... Oh, there's two. You're right. I'm sorry. And then there's one over here. There's two doors left. This one's partially buried, though, so that's probably a little harder to get to, the one down here. But where you're at, that one is definitely not locked yet. So you run down the stairs, slam the doors open, run to this back room. What did you get for your roll for athletics versus mine?
Lucky
That doesn't...
13.
You don't look happy.
No, I'm not happy. It was 13. I'm going to let it sit.
13. You're going to let it sit. You're happy with it.
I don't want to blow all my hero points.
There's ways to get more.
I know.
You just can't tap the same one Drew made. Has to be a new one.
Yeah, I know.
Up to you. You gonna let it ride? Well, if we're gonna let it ride, then I am gonna let the audience roll. We have a +5 to our roll. Audience, give me a D20. We need higher than a 13 to beat her to the roll. Beat her to the door. As you run to the door, outside there is definitely a silhouette. It is larger. It's about the size of a human, but it's oddly shaped. Like really oddly shaped.
Said she'll give me her patch.
Right. And you can see it's up on like a snow hill coming down, and it comes down. And it's probably like 20 foot from the door, and it turns and like really long and lanky and looks at the door. You see a golden eye peering back at the door. A natural 1. There is a loud thud and a slip as that tall creature like disappears in a vanish. Like it moves fast, and you hear a scream. And then you hear the multiple scream noise that you heard when you first encountered one of those creatures and hit it with your whip. As there is some fight going out to the northwest of the building. Outside, it is crisp, cold, and quiet. All there is the crunch of snow, and the siblings hear the same multi-level scream in the background to the northwest of the cabin. When that happens, the one in front of you screams an echo of that one. I need both of you to give me a will save. You've never heard it before.
Okay.
Ooh. Lysynthia fucking failed her save. I rolled a natural 1 for Lysynthia.
Oof.
No.
This woman is like hardened. Someone played the cook pot. That's awesome. We got some good cards that got played. So I'm going to go, we're going to start with Allie. Allie, what did you get?
I got a 15.
Are you happy with that?
No.
Are you going to go with it anyway?
Never. Is there a limit to how many superstitions we can make?
I mean, that is a really fun question to ask that I will not give you an answer to.
Oh, shit.
You could make another one. I will tell you that frozen in the ether storm, your body becomes something else. You could lean back on that one you made before if you'd like, because right now there is something in front of you that is not human. Would you like that for a hero point?
God damn it.
You wondered, could Erik make Frankhouse dilemmas out of anything? And the answer is, yeah, I can.
Yeah, let's fucking do it.
All right, and I will move the cryptid tracker one more. With that said, get your reroll. I will give us a few cards while you're rolling here that have been played. We have a few new epic level crit cards with some monster parts. We got both the campsite cook upgrade and the cook pot, even though it says campsite because it's spelled wrong. The Keeper's Eye is automatic. For some reason, that one played automatically. It should not be finished. It is important because it is for me. Keeper takes notice. Someone can regain a focus if they want to use it. Or they can get 1d6 spells back, but I move the tracker when you do. We did get one of those played as well. Anything else? There's some victory points and some improved libraries. Right now, the only thing that may help you is probably going to be emotional HP after I attack you.
Yeah.
What did you get, Allie?
Yeah, I rolled a second 4 for another 15.
Awesome. What about your brother? What did you get for your will save?
I have an 18.
Are you happy with that?
I'm never happy with anything.
Are you staying at that?
I feel sorry for you and your lack of soul.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I'm going to stay there.
Inside the house, I need saves as well from everybody, but it is a much lower DC because you are safe in the confines of a building. Don't worry, Reiki got an 18 on the die. Reiki's a good boy.
You might be muted, Kelly.
You're not on screen yet, so.
And
there we go.
I said Reiki's on top of it.
Yep, Reiki's on top.
I got a 16.
16. Okay. Are you happy with that? Indoors, like I said,
yeah.
I will say the DC is lower for you.
I can't get into too much trouble indoors, hopefully. So
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. I will tell you, everybody besides Georgia and Lysynthia made their saves. Fortunately, Georgia, fear comes over you. Lysynthia with you, she backpedals a few feet. Conditions in Pathfinder are a little different than playing in 5e. They didn't change too many. I will say they didn't change much of the condition stuff. There's a few little things here and there. But if you have 2e, you are currently under the effects of fear. I love fear in this game. Conditions stack up over time. More, you can get like better ranks, or not better, worst ranks of a condition. You are currently at fear 1 because you did not critically fail. Could have been worse.
Franklin's not too bad. It's only a penalty to everything.
Right. It's not too bad.
Right.
It's not too bad.
NBD.
So let me get you your penalty here. You are currently considered frightened. You're gripped with fear and struggle to control your nerves. The frightened condition always include in value, which is 1 in this case. You take a status penalty equal to this value to all your checks and DCs, unless specified otherwise. At the end of your turn, the value of your frightened condition decreases by 1. Now, she's like, oh, what in the fuck is this? And she immediately draws her pistol and takes a shot before anyone else goes. I am going to use my double tap ability that comes from the cards from Lysynthia. We're using Bear the Crusaders card. This is from way back during Penny Dreadfuls, our Lysynthia Dreadfuls. I hit it for 14 points of damage. And then I hit it for an extra 3 on my Hunter's ability. She takes one shot, boom, and hits it. It rips a hole through the clothes that it is wearing. This black sinewy tendril shoots out. I need to know how far you are from the creature, Drew, because you were the closest at this current time. What position did you put between you and them? You know what I mean? Like how many feet?
Well, I hadn't moved yet because she said before you get any closer. So I'm curious, where did she say?
It's your I'm
where did she tell
giving
it to
you a
stop?
choice, Drew.
I'm gonna say.
Are you 20 foot, 1 move away? Are you 40 foot, 2 actions away? Talking through.
I'm gonna say
code?
20 because we would have to be close enough in order to for her to see that like something was wrong, and I would have to be close enough to be able to notice the gate.
Sure.
So I'll say 20 feet.
So I'm gonna put you here on the side of the house, and then I had to add Lysynthia. I forgot to add Lysynthia, and I will put.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
You said how many feet? 20?
20, yeah.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20. That is 20 foot. Lysynthia will just be next to your sister. Your sister step behind both. I'll put Lysynthia in between. I will just use a Gravelighter token for her for now. And we'll stagger you so that... Well, no, I can just shoot over your head. So, with that... I need initiative based on... Oh, no, you know what? I'm just going to use your saves for your initiative.
That's fair.
It makes the most sense to
I'm
me.
just so glad I closed all those doors.
Uh-huh. But you'll be happy. That means that Lysynthia was first with her reaction, but she is last in the initiative order. That puts Drew first, Georgia second, the creature third, Lysynthia fourth. Well, what would you like to do there, Drew?
She fired. I see this thing like come out of it. He's going to reach behind his back and throw what looks like, it actually kind of looks like a snowshoe, but it's circular and it's in the shape of a frisbee.
Okay.
And there's like pieces of bone that are wrapped around to make it like to make the outside circle, and there's pieces of leather that just kind of crisscross. That's about the extent that it stops looking at as a snowshoe.
Okay.
But he throws it like a frisbee at this thing's feet.
Okay. Would you like I'll put an icon for a trap in front of it?
Yeah, and then let's see.
I'll have to make a trap icon for you.
Is it bite? It's not biting. Bite. There's no one. And this thing's gonna hang on. I want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly because me true to form, I made it hard on myself.
Yeah, by not picking everything out of the one book and you combined 100 things together, it's like you summoned a mirror and made a character.
Well, no, it's the last because we don't have things for snares, and that was like the whole basis of this character.
No
we
one
don't
ever
have stuff
saw
for
it.
snares
You
in the new.
just could have got rid of it. No one ever saw it. You were just stuck. I'm pretty sure it takes you multiple actions to put a trap out, though, right?
Yeah, it takes 3 interact.
Okay, so this is your entire round.
Yep.
All right.
But I am putting it in its square.
Oh, okay. That's bad for me.
Yeah.
Are you trying to... Is this a damaging trap or a capturing trap?
Damaging.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to start a stratagem for you two outside. Stratagem is something new we are doing for the show. There's only 2 of you, so there can only be 2 threshold levels. That's how it works. Every person adds a threshold level, but it adds more to it. The first one is a 2, and the second one is a 4. That's how many victory points you need. 1 action during your round can count towards it. Unfortunately, throwing the trap out cannot because there's no roll.
Right.
With that, that would go to Georgia. Georgia, what would you like to do?
All right, Georgia, being afraid, is going to grab the item that she was holding on her belt. She unclips it, and it is like a small, hollowed out, very light tree bark, and she's going to chuck it over, which is casting tar fire, as she throws it at this.
What the fuck is tar fire? That's new to me.
You fucking made it.
I know I made it. It was for you to tell us what it does.
Hell yeah. So an explosion of pine tar will cover the target before bursting into flames. So that's going to do 1d6 fire damage on a hit, double damage on a crit, and 1d4 persistent fire. Can be put out by using an action or submerging them in water. And this is going to be heightened to 2nd level. So it's going to be 2d6. And
all right. Is it a roll to hit, I assume, or is it a save for me?
It sure is. It is against your AC.
Okay, give me a roll.
Okay. Come on, dice. Don't kill me.
First attack roll from PC.
Oh!
I've already taken 17 points.
24 to hit.
24. That definitely hits me. I need to see if that is a crit, y'all. With that said, let me put this on. Put the door up so that the audience cannot see the stats of the creatures. Let me see here. That's a pretty good roll.
I fucking love this druid spell.
it's fun.
So fucking stoked.
So I unfortunately get crit.
Hey.
I was hoping I had a higher AC, but I do not.
That's okay.
No. I like this creature.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and use one of my moth die for this.
Oh, okay. All right. Make sure
nice.
Okay.
Keep the 5e AC on all the creatures, please.
And quick question. A reminder, it's been a minute since we've been in Ethauntia. So the way that this is worded is double damage. Is that doubling the dice or double the number flat?
So if it's crit, it's max first die, roll the second half. So you max the first half, roll the second half. For all crits,
that's our house rule.
That's our house rule. We did it to speed up combat and to make things more deadly, but it does go both ways. So max the first roll.
Max both rolls, baby. Let's fucking go.
I don't like this already. How much is that for damage?
That's going to be 24 damage first, and I'll let you know what that persistent fire damage is here in a second.
Shit.
Yes. Oh, God. dice are finally working for me. Okay, time for some D4 action.
So I don't think this is gonna matter. As you hit it with this pine tar and it sticks to it, the coat ignites, lighting the night sky in this area, this tiny little like 20-foot wide walk path to the back. As it bursts into flames, there is another scream as more of these black tendrils shoot out of the open pores that are being burned on this thing. 20 foot is 5 foot further than you need to be. As these tendrils flail out and it ignites into fire, it collapses to the ground. But my tendrils cannot reach Drew's character.
Does it fall in the trap?
It does fall in the trap. Now, that was crit. Okay. That counts as 2. The first one is done. I am currently considered slowed 1 for my character because of the stratagem that is in play. You just have one stratagem right now, which is a very basic one. I've slowed 1 for 1 round, but I am dying, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, cool. Can it make a basic reflex saving throw?
Does it do it on its turn? I'm assuming it would for a trap because it's when it moves.
Well, I mean,
right?
It says when it enters the snares square.
I think you can't throw it on a person. I think you have to throw it around them.
Well, I threw it in front of it. So if it falls forward, then
I'm not moving anywhere. I'm burning in place right now.
Okay.
I'm dead. I can't move. I'm fucking toasty. I'm like 20 hit points past what I need to be because I take extra damage from it. So as it bursts into flames, Lysynthia shoots it 2 more times on the ground. At the end of the round, just boom, boom, pops 2 more rounds into it. Inside the house, doors all locked. Gunfire has went off. They're screaming out back. The closest person to being able to see any of it would be probably Maria. And Renamundo, while the screaming is going on outside, he stops for a minute, stops stirring the pot while he's talking to you. And then when the scream happens again, he's like, well, at least it's outside. And he continues stirring like nothing is going on. So, yes, the ghouls are very dangerous. And he continues talking. Do you stay conversating with him? Okay.
That's more than just like random noises outside. I'm going to investigate now.
Are you running towards where Maria is on the west side of the house?
Yeah, wherever I saw her go last, I guess.
She exited out and went upstairs. And then you heard footfalls come down the stairs. You hear some kids giggling upstairs. Then you hear footfalls on the west side of the house. Gunfires on the east side of the house. Like, there's shit going on everywhere. But the doors are all locked. You can go to a window and open the shutters to look out. Where would you like to go?
I think I would call for Maria, and then I would go to where I heard the gunshots, which would be outside the east.
Yeah, so
corner, right?
you could either go out the back door, or you could go into the game room and look out the windows that are in the game room.
Oh yeah, I'll look out the window.
So you would be moving this way down into the game room. The windows have shutters on them. They are like the storm shutters. There's a lever on the inside that you can pull, like a big wooden one, to open them up. In case there's snow on them or ice, you'd have to go outside. In this case, they are not frozen over. Are you walking over? Because it's 2 actions to get there and 3rd action to open.
Sure.
Okay. As you pull the shutters open, there is a fiery gout outside of a person burning alive, writhing on the ground as a tendril hits a window and shatters it.
Oh shit.
There are 2 people outside that you can see. One is shorter, fur covered. The other one is a tall lady who's standing over top of this person, just putting rounds out of a gun into it. Did you say anything? There is broken glass. It's the first window in that row of 4. Do you say anything? Do you take cover? Do you shut it again?
In Cadraic, which is my common tongue, I say it's like, fire! Non-magical fire! That does the best. I mean, clearly it's on fire. They know, but I just wanted to
Lysynthia, like, while looking at you, pops another round into it, and you can see she's got, like, shutters on over her eyes, so she's not, like, getting snow blinded, a huge hood, and she's in Cadraic back to you, says, got it, fire. With that, Maria, what would you like to do? Because he used 2 actions to go there. 1 action, open the shutters and tell them fire is the answer, which I'm sure makes Georgia extremely happy.
I'm gonna go into this kitchen area and just double check that this is locked. I know that you said that it was like probably snowed in, but
The kitchen area. Oh, the pantry?
or yeah, this pantry area
Yep.
with the marker in the
It's like pantry and prep area. Yeah, the other one's the butcher
Yeah.
room. That's like a pantry and prep. All right.
Yeah,
So you move yourself around. So how many is that for you? 1.
that's a lot. I
How many
mean,
squares
I've
can you
got-
move a turn per action? 4?
I can move 5 per action.
5 per action. So to get to there, it is 30 right where you are. Exactly.
Okay.
As you get to that door, you can see a hand is on the snow, and it is like pushing snow out of the way, trying to clear the handle to get into the house.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and lock this door.
It takes all 3 actions to get there.
Okay. As a free, I'm gonna say little help over here.
Are you yelling through the house? You hear giggling upstairs, and you hear footfalls on the floor above you, on the ceiling above you.
Okay. They're probably still just playing. That's all right.
Probably. You hear more screaming out back. And I need the initiative for both Maria and Burke. I'm assuming athletics because you ran over to there, and probably perception for Burke since he's looking out the window.
Yeah, I've been running all over the place.
Right?
so-
Yeah.
So, I'm good.
What's that mean?
I'm 25, natural 20 on the
Oh.
Ethauntia dice.
Like, I'm good. Like, that's not a number.
I got a 27 because I got a 19 on the Ethauntia dice.
Okay. Well, apparently these two are fucking prepared. I'll start at the top of this round because that was kind of wrapping
They're
up last
warm.
round. Yeah. Maria, you get to the door. You have 3 new actions. Something is pawing at it, trying to get to the handle. You're running over to lock, or moving over and locking the door with an action. You have 2 actions
Yes.
left. What would you like to do?
The door is locked. I
It is
will
locked.
grab something and drag it over to block the door.
Sure. Okay. So you grab like the table that's in the center, like the big ass oak table.
Yeah, that's probably the best bet. I was just thinking like, yeah.
I mean,
let's go.
there's a crate next to you. There's foodstuffs, but like the biggest
I feel
things
like a
are
table,
the big table.
making it. Yeah, I was gonna say making it have to go through a table too will hopefully jam it up enough that I can whip at it if I need to.
This is a heavy ass ironwood oak table. Can you please give me an athletics roll to move this? Because this thing is like, if you look at it, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 foot long and 10 foot wide.
Adrenaline is coursing through my veins as I get a 25.
Are you serious?
I got a 17 on the Ethauntia dice.
God damn, girl. As you grab this thing and drag it and throw it against
like,
the
no.
door, the glass breaks outside as this thing is trying to make its way in. You have 1 action, oh no, 1 to move, 1 to grab it and pull it over. So that would be all 3 actions, right? Lock, grab, move. That's all 3. Is that correct?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I think that's correct because it's not an interact to move an object. That's a skill check. That would take us to Burke, who's also got a godly high initiative score. What would you like to do, Burke?
So Maria called for help,
Yes.
and I'm on the opposite of the house, and I
Yes.
can see what's going on out here.
Mm-hmm.
Does that thing still seem alive?
It looks dead, but so did the last one.
I will say, keep your distance from it and keep the fire on it. It dies hard, and I will then move to the other side of the house, or as far as I can get. Let's see.
Are you making like a knowledge check or anything else as it's burning, or are you just saying that as a free and running?
Just saying from what I've learned in the last hour or two
Sure.
I've been here.
So you can run across. Again, how many squares do you move per action for you? Is it 4?
25. So 5 squares.
5 squares for you as well. So if you right click, you can drag and it'll tell you how many squares it is.
Oh, sweet. Okay, let me Let me put him back.
And then if
where I
you
was.
left click while you're holding right click, it's just like roll 20. You can move it around and do corners and all that shit. I cannot see that though. It's only personal.
Okay. So one goes here. Here.
And I will bring us.
I can get to the door. I had it pretty close. I can get to the door.
Okay. Move yourself where you want to be then, and I will move us back to the map. As you move across, that takes us to... I'm going to fuck up his name. Drew Regdir?
Regder.
Regder. I keep thinking of the 3.0 fighter. Because that is what D&D 3.0... It was Regder.
Regdar?
Yeah, Regdar.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Regdar, I think. D-A-R, if I remember correctly. Todd's like, I don't remember. But Regdir. So what would you like to do?
The human.
Yeah, the human fighter with the scale mail.
Gotcha.
That's the name I hear in my head.
What
What would you like to do? It's burning. She goes, we need to split up. If they're getting attacked in the house, we need to circle the house.
Right.
And they're screaming out back still, like multiple screams, and then like a high-end screeching noise.
The same one that this thing made?
Not really.
Okay.
Here, like chattering and biting and claws.
We're gonna go. Well, if this thing's still burning and he told us to stay on it and make sure it
Why Cynthia's like, I
dies.
got it, go.
Right. He'll. What are his options? Like the front's snowed in.
I don't know. You're your character.
He heard more things around the back side of the house.
Yes, the northwest corner. Outside.
So I'd have the northwest corner. So I would have to either go past this thing or around it. I'll probably dip back and go around the front of the house then, I guess.
Okay.
He says, don't
Now,
step
remember,
on
front of
that
the house.
disc.
Front of the house is up and over. Remember, it's snowed into the second floor.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So do you have the ability to ignore difficult terrain? Because it is difficult terrain with snow. Unless you have snowshoes, it is difficult terrain.
I do not have snowshoes. I have stuff for ice. I don't have, because I have a climbing
Then,
kit, but I don't
it
have
is
stuff for
half
snow.
movement if you go that way. If you go around back, it is not. Just to give you a heads up. You would know that. There's no reason to double back. I'm just letting you know it'll be half move going through the rough terrain because you're climbing through snow on ice. Or through it in spot. You know what I mean? Like, back is probably the best, or through the house.
I saw this thing hit the house with its tendrils.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably go around the other way and keep my distance, like keep the 10 feet between
Sure.
us.
As long as you keep 10 foot, you can kind of hug the wall and make your way around. Move yourself as far as you can on there. And I want to see where you're at before I describe anything.
He's kind of taking a wide berth. He's doing, let's see, 1,
I will delete this one.
2, using 3 actions just to move.
There'd be normal speed through here. It's not high snow here. It's just normal speed, Drew.
Oh, right. So he would have made it to here then.
You can just right click
And he's
and use the... How many squares do you move per movement? Are you 20 foot or 25?
20.
So 20, so 4, 8, 12 is 3. 3 would put you where you... All right, 4, 8, 12. Yeah, that would put you where you are right now. Okay.
I know. That's why I moved myself there.
I didn't see that you were off the map.
Oh, gotcha.
I was like, "Where's he at?" You're off the map. That's fine.
I couldn't be within 10.
I know,
I couldn't be
you're-
within 10
you're
feet.
skirting
beyond
the
map.
danger zone.
Fuck that noise. And since I didn't do it before, Regder is red hair. Kind of runs it in braids. He's covered with furs. He wears hide armor. You can see he has a spot for a war lantern on his back.
Okay. I forgot you did this.
And he
What's a war lantern?
he
Drew?
has war lantern is an Ethauntia weapon that allows you to stab things with the light that you carry.
Just
to
go
keep you
like
safe
this.
from the dark skies.
Just go like this, and they'll see it.
Oh, you mean this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah, that thing there. Yeah, the patches. Yeah, the patch. Yeah, the thing you're dingling. Yeah, that one.
thing dingling.
The dingly dangly.
And the spike. I don't know if you can see it here, but the spike on this one is wood,
Mm-hmm.
but the bottom is made so that you can swap out the spikes. Which
So what's
is
on yours?
what he
It's sheathed right now, though. Actually, you're using it as like a holder in a tube.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just wood right now. But on the other shoulder, he's carrying an axe rifle, and you can see that there is metal that goes down the top and bottom, so that it's structural for the head, and there's a barrel that comes out the front of it.
Oh, combo
can be-
weapons
Yeah, so that it is.
for all my Monster Hunter fans.
Yeah, it's a two-handed axe rifle.
So you can get
And
to
you
there.
can see
You
he
can't
has
go
his
further.
dwarven clan dagger on his hip. No, that's as far as I can go.
That's your distance. That takes us to your sister, Allie. What is Georgia doing? She says, "I have this. Go." You see your brother take off. What are you doing?
Georgia is going to call back and go, "Hey, look, I know a thing or two about the flame. I can keep this thing lit." And she's going to start moving in the direction of her brother, but she's also going to go ahead and cast the cantrip Ignition. And yeah.
Insult to injury. What does that do to the fire that is already raging?
So with that, you snap your fingers and point at the target, which begins to smolder. So it's a smell attack roll against AC, which deals additional fire damage.
All right, give me a roll.
And it's a cantrip, so I can keep on doing it.
Give me a roll, because technically the stratagem is still in effect.
Mm-hmm. You know that superstition about how if bodies are left out in the cold without being properly burnt?
No, I don't know that one.
Yeah, in the cold, you gotta burn those bodies real good, like. Otherwise, that thing comes out of the woods and eats them.
So you're basically saying you have to burn the bodies or you draw out cryptids
Yes.
from the woods? Okay. Burn bodies in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Gotta burn them real good.
a creature comes out of the woods to eat it. All right. Go ahead.
Cool. So I can re-roll that nat one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Here, that's a dirty 20.
All right. As you do that, it ignites. The screaming from this one stops, but you can still hear the echo of the one on the backside of the house. Georgia, you moved your character as well. That takes us to Lysynthia. As it bursts into flame again, Lysynthia rolls the cylinder out, drops the shells on top of it, loads new ones in, and fucking shoots fire rounds into it, and continues to shoot them all into it until it's over. And as you're running, you just hear boom, 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 as she's shooting it over and over again. That takes us back to the top of the list, which means that it is Maria. The creature outside busts a hole through the window. Its hand detaches at the wrist and reaches 15 foot into the room, flailing around trying to grab the edge of this table to move it. What would you like to do? Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Okay. Well, this is going to provoke, potentially.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm
I am
happy about
going
that, I should say.
to exploit vulnerability.
Okay.
It is Esoterica, Manipulate, and Thaumaturge. So I see this thing, I'm like, not again. As it tries to reach through, I need to make an Esoteric Lore check.
Oh, this bullshit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Thaumaturge, everybody. Fucking Thaumaturge.
Let's see. That is a 15.
Okay, 15. You happy with that?
Uh,
It does have cover from the door. Or are you just
Well, no,
hitting the
that's
arm
just
in the
for me
room, you
to-
said?
no, that's just me doing a.
Oh, that's
basically
right. That's
a
right.
kind
I
of knowledge
apologize.
check. Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
it's 10 plus its level, right? That is high enough
It's a
to
standard
get.
DC for its level.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
level of the creature. So that is enough to have one question answered, right? Isn't that how that works for you?
I just need a success. I can recall an important fact about the creature, learning its highest weakness or one of its highest weaknesses if it has multiple of the same value.
You already heard the man in the
Then I
house
need
yell
something-
fire, so you already know about fire.
Right, so I already know about that. And then I'm going to exploit the creature's mortal weakness or personal antithesis.
Fire.
Right. My unarmed attacks and weapons. For people who weren't here during the Halloween special, basically my attacks become magical if they weren't already. So successfully doing esoteric lore.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that I already knew these things were vulnerable to fire, but the reason I was doing it again was just to help empower my whip, which is my implement, my weapon. And as I do that, last time I was conjuring the fear of the warmth and flame of the summer court,
Sure.
and I think I channel that again
Okay.
through my whip as it flows down.
Okay.
And now I'm going to attack it.
All right. Give me a roll to hit. Are you hitting just the arm that's in the room, or are you just trying to strike it through the door?
I mean, I guess I'm trying to get the arm for now.
Okay.
To try and drive it back.
Yep.
Um,
I'm fine with that. AC's a little better.
I'm using a patch
All right.
because that was a 2. Going to jail. Where's my timeout chair? I'll get my timeout chair later.
As the camera moves to show your timeout chair.
Right. Oh, that was a natural 20.
Okay, there you go. That is a crit.
Let's
So-
go.
Let me make my camera stop following me. Hold on a second. All right.
Thank you for the extra cryptozoology. It's really fun. I love it. It's fantastic. Oh, we just reconnected with OBS.
Charges in with her flaming whip, doing maximum damage, and this thing's like, "You must be the Belmont."
Right? You must be Belmont.
So what's your damage?
So it is going to be 16 points of damage, and then it's going to trigger its fire weakness.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's
And I don't-
a lot. As it ignites and pulls its arm out of the room, tendrils shoot out from the pores on the knuckles and between the joints as it pulls its hand back out in the cold and slaps it into the snow, trying to put the fire out. You do a significant amount of damage as the head looks into the window. The face splits in half as a second head starts to grow out of the cheek, and it is pulling the teeth from the inside with it. As a reaction, I can spit a body part at a target within 30 feet. So I'm going to spit teeth at you. Does a AC 19 hit you?
No.
Really?
Maria O'Larian has a breastplate.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. So the teeth ricochet off instead of hitting you, which is such a shame. This one is, the skin is blued and red. While it is on fire, it looks like it just put it out with an action. Is there any other actions you would like to take, Maria, before we move to Drew?
Well, I guess for right now,
If you want to back up in the
so I already
room.
know what its highest weakness is.
Yep.
I'll just go for a second attack.
Okay. -5, or is it 4 for you? Is it a finesse weapon?
It's -5 because it's not an agile weapon.
Mm-hmm. Give me a roll.
Okay. Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit it. Not a crit, though.
Okay. So it's going to be 3.
And is this still fire damage, too? Does it
Todd
last
might have to
past
do-
more than one attack, or is it just for the one?
Once I do it, it lasts until that creature is dead.
Oh, goddamn.
But I have to
I
hit.
don't like that.
Unless Todd, you heard differently, but I've watched a couple of Thaumaturge ones, and
I think it's
That's
until
how
the
it
creature's
works.
done. It's like Hunter's Mark.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Six.
then that's gonna be 3,
That's not good.
5. So just another 8 points of damage, and I trigger its weakness again.
When you hit it that time, it falls back in the snow on fire. You see steam as it is melting the snow. You also hear another voice outside as the ether snow and ice that is there is melting and a spirit is released. I am triggering a GM effect. There is some form of a spirit that is outside the door as well right now. Do you have any actions left? All right, that takes us to Drew. Drew, what would you like to do over across the way?
Regdar's gonna keep moving.
All right, Regdar.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
Okay.
So he moves to there, trying to get around the house.
Okay.
And he used 3 actions to do it, so he's hoofing it as best he can.
As fast as you can go, that takes us to Georgia. Right?
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh no, I lied. I
continuing-
skipped Burke.
Oh.
I apologize.
Okay.
I skipped Burke. My R and B look the same because I wrote them in on top of each other.
Well, the downside to this being a massive house, I'm going to have to spend another turn just running across the main hallway.
Okay. Where are you at right now?
I'm right here by the door in the game room.
Okay.
So I would have to go and run. Oh, that sucks. I'm halfway there, Maria. Just you wait.
all 3 actions? Aren't you 4 per square, right? Right? 4?
I am 5 per turn, so that's 15 squares that far.
Okay. So as you get about halfway through, and you enter the room
Chosen
where
one.
all of the taxidermy is at. The large taxidermy on the back half, you see one of the heads turn down and look at you from that large, this looks like a person fighting like a frost serpent, and the frost serpent's head turns and looks at you. The eyes light this eerie green. You need a will save from you.
Just passing through. Oh,
Don't
that's
mind
not
me.
too bad. 23.
That's really good. You hear the voice of somebody. It is not in a language you know, so that it's a little bit easier of a save. But it is speaking to you. It sounds like Moldavian. That's what it sounds like it's speaking, but you don't really make it out.
Nice try.
The end of your move, that's it. You're good, right? Now it would go to Georgia.
That's
Georgia, what would you like to do outside?
So Georgia is going to continue following her brother.
Okay.
Um,
And you cast one spell earlier, right? So that was an action, the cantrip. So you
Yeah,
are
that was
4
2
squares
actions.
behind him. Oh no, then you're 8
Okay.
squares behind him, right? Are you movement 5 or 4? 5? 5 squares? Are you 20
4.
or 25? 4. So you're here then. While Cynthia finishes shooting this thing, you see her at the window as she grabs the shutters and rips the shutters open to climb through the broken window.
Okay.
And that would be your move. Or are you doing anything else?
Let's go ahead and stay with that move right now. Yeah.
Okay. That would take us back to the top of the list. Maria, outside, there is no more movement. You do hear something talking. It is in another language. Once in a while, on the reflection of the glass that's left, you see a female form in a nightgown with a winter hat on, but no winter clothes. And she's kind of passing back and forth in front of the outdoor window. Once in a while, you hear a rap on the glass in a language someone's speaking, but they don't do anything other than that. Creature outside has not moved. It seems to be burning still, and the screaming to the northwest has also stopped. What would you like to do?
Because I'm trained in esoteric lore, I'm actually an expert now.
Oh,
I have a
great.
special lore skill that can be used to recall knowledge regarding haunts, curses, and creatures of any type.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll to see if this is like a haunt or a curse. With this
Give me a roll.
woman
Yeah.
drifting back and forth.
Yeah.
Because if... And as I do this, I'm looking at her, is this the woman that helped me during the Halloween special? I'm like looking for recognized features I can recognize.
I know.
That has a 28.
It is very similar to that person. And it looks like she is wandering and it doesn't have the ability to pass through the threshold. But it is the same spirit. She just has a winter hat on this time, and she did not last time.
Okay.
She wasn't a nightgown last time. Good recall, by the way.
I mean, it's cold outside.
I had to dig through my notes to find stuff from Darkest House. Diana, that's what notes are. Love you, Diana.
She takes notes.
She's gonna show up with just a ton of field notes and just.
She's like, take notes.
I know. It's just funny.
She knows where you live.
She does know where I live.
Because of that, last time I talked to her, she seemed to listen. I don't know if that's going to be the same this time around. But I'm going to say I apologize for passing through. I'm going to try and take out the thing that hurt you.
Okay. Nothing happens other than that. She stops and looks through the window. She kind of slowly nods her head. The fire is burning behind her still. You can see it slowly dimming out as the body is being burnt up and the screaming is stopping. Behind her, the fire, you see a taller creature dragging a body. Head down, dragging it and pulling it through the snow. And once in a while, its head shakes and it is fucking flailing a human-sized body around.
I'm more concerned. I mean, sorry, whatever that thing is, it can come after me. I'm more concerned about the body that was burning and the fire's burning down, so I'm going to strike at it again with my... You
strike at it through the ghost again, because she's in the way. Through the ghost.
Well, I would have tried to...
There's no other way to do it. You either do it or you don't.
Okay.
Because she's in the window, so that's up to you.
I mean, you did warn her, so just passing through to try and hurt the thing that hurt you.
I'm passing through you
well,
with my
because
whip.
my first action was to do that. My second action was going to be and try and like get past her so I can.
You'd have to open the door and walk through her. That's the only way to do it. She is literally in front of the door.
Well, this isn't meant to. It's not triggered against her. So unless she takes something from something else.
I'm just telling you what it looks like. You guys are way too paranoid.
No,
yeah,
I know.
It's fucking you.
The act. I will tell you, this act is called paranoia. So I feel like I'm being successful.
I got 21 to hit.
That's more than enough. It bursts into flames again. The second time you ignite it, it finishes burning it up. Okay. And it's just a shriveled husk that is left. Same outside where Lysynthia was. We are currently out of combat besides the creature flailing a body outside and tossing it in the air and catching it like it's a seal at SeaWorld. What does the group want to do? I'll let the siblings move to wherever they want to around the house. Lysynthia climbs into the house and moves through. And she is going to be walking up behind Todd's character, Burke. Burke, are you making your way all the way to Maria?
Yeah, it's like I'm like the chosen one, and Kung Pao's like, I'm coming. He's like, chosen one. This takes forever and a day to get there.
It's like President Scroob running through Spaceball 1.
Are you two walking all the way around the back of the house, or are you just walking to that back door that's locked?
No, we'd be walking to where, like, I'm trying to find where the screaming was coming from because it was outside. If I don't see it on the back, I'll keep moving.
When you
around.
get to here, but the two of you move to here, on the far end of the building, there is like blood stains all over the snow and splatterings on the wall, but there's nothing laying there. And there you can see drag marks that go down the other side of the building.
I'll be tracking and following those.
If you make your way all the way around, you finally will see Reiki chewing, eating, and pulling apart a person.
Son of a birch.
Son of a birch.
Drop it.
Are you gonna? You're gonna give me a roll. Give me a roll.
Is this nature?
Handle animal, I think, is actually under persuasion, isn't it?
Oh no, is it? Oh.
I think
No, I think it's nature.
Is it nature? Okay, then we'll go with nature.
I have it open here. Command an animal is.
Give me a nature roll. You've never worked with Reiki before.
14? No. I can't do math. 16.
16 throws a limb to you.
Oh, thanks.
It hits the ground,
buddy.
and you see little tendrils out of it.
Okay, I'm gonna
Ricky,
do.
don't
Set
eat
that fucking thing on fire.
Yep.
Okay, you light it.
Yeah.
And he continues eating the body.
That's
I
not
mean,
good.
I love Kelly's face right now. Like, why? Like,
Reiki, why are you such a dog right now, Reiki? Stop it. Put it down. Stop eating the shit.
I don't think you guys have remembered how this creature worked in every episode.
No, I
This is
do.
exactly
I do.
what Reiki did in every episode.
What's in your mouth?
Maria doesn't know that though, so she's
Yeah.
like, "Why is this thing eating like a dog? Put it down."
As you make your way around and everybody is kind of congregating on the west side of the building, you can see Reiki tearing this thing apart. Lysynthia walks in behind, at the doorway. She stops in the house. She says, my name is Lysynthia Shackelford. I'm here on behalf of Merrifield. I am here with 2 other members who have been to this outpost. I am a friend, not a foe. That's what she says when she walks through the door. She just came into the outpost. She goes, we killed one of the creatures on the east side of the house. My companion is currently eating the one outside that door. Please do not attack him.
Can you tell it to stop eating it? Because otherwise, it's gonna possibly turn your companion into it.
I have never seen that happen yet, and this thing is swam in the tides. But, yes, Reiki. And she whistles and says something, and Reiki runs to the door. When it gets to the door, the hood folds back as this green and red lizard-like creature runs and sticks its head through the hole in the door to lick her. It is a large velociraptor.
I'm more concerned about the body that it left dropped, so I'm gonna try and crawl out.
Reiki,
to set
move!
that thing
Reiki,
on
move!
fire.
Move! She pushes Reiki out of the way. You're between the 3 of you. Move the table, get the door open. I'm assuming in the time you get outside, Georgia and her brother will just be burning the other body as well. You're muted,
Yes.
Allie.
yes, absolutely, absolutely, yes, yes, yes. Burn
The 2 of you see Georgia and Regder also here, which you do know both of them. Maria.
Well, I do. Yes,
Burke has never seen them before.
correct.
Burke, you know that in the world there are very few dwarves. And this may be some of the first 2 you've seen outside of Cadra, like in the Gold Order or the Emerald Order. Because there's not a lot of them in the world. And
There's been a lot of
they look
surprises.
like siblings. It gets obvious. Same color hair.
Well, maybe in the last several years, the dwarves have repopulated. I don't know. I've been gone a while.
No, it's less than there ever have been. But sure, that's
They
a
are-
great hope.
It is an interesting sight
Great
to
dwarf
behold
hope.
with dwarves. But I'm getting there. I'm like, oh, Outpost is huge. Sorry I didn't get here sooner. I was on the complete opposite end, Maria. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Do we need to burn
Victor.
this thing outside?
And you see
Yeah.
produce flame, hit it, and light it on fire for Georgia.
And do you know them? Are they with you?
I
They're with
know-
me, Lysynthia says.
Oh, I wave to
Who are you?
Regder and Georgia and say, "Where were you guys? I left the house and I lost you."
Oh, thank God you're there.
Left the
That's
house.
Great.
Lysynthia goes, what do you 2 talk about? What house? What do you mean? We just came from Merrifield.
We went into a house. We were giving chase to a monster that took one of our guild members, and we were trying to find the other guild member, and we ended up being in a house. We were trapped there for I don't even know how long.
Did the house have a large metal gate with an E on it?
No.
Do we know what she's talking about from the first time around?
I mean, you all were at the darkest house before, the house that you all went into when we did that thing. I will say
Right.
you have all been out of it for a few weeks, remember, and you've went to go find to retrack the person that was lost. You may have not have seen them since the house debacle, though, to be honest. Lysynthia was never there. She has no idea what the fuck you're talking about. She is assuming a totally different house that is a totally different problem.
Right.
Maria, that was weeks ago. You all right?
I mean, I don't know. I lost Clive. When I came out, it was just me and the twins, and then this gentleman here.
I didn't know they could leave the house, but
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Whoa.
Either
First off,
side.
wait.
Twins.
Cynthia says, hold on. Stop. One. There's also children here.
They're upstairs right now, yeah. Clem and Clara.
It certainly looked
Wait,
that way.
those children.
Yes, those children.
What are
they
they
did
doing
take a
here?
liking to her.
You hear laughter and footsteps running through the house upstairs.
Oh.
You hear the laughter of two, footsteps of one. Very specifically going to state it that way.
They came back different. Listen, let's not talk about this outside. There may be more of those things.
The two you
Right.
burned are husks. There's nothing moving. The third one that Lysynthia and the siblings took care of is also burnt and gone. If everyone moves into the house, I would like to know, are you congregating in the kitchen where Raimundo is? Or are you going to go to an area where you can talk away from him as a group? Lysynthia pulls out a cloth and starts scrubbing Reiki's teeth and getting any of the muck off of his face.
Fair. Eric,
Is he gonna be all right?
Oh, him?
Would-
Oh, absolutely. He's fine.
All right.
would we know Raimundo at all?
You would know of him. Same thing before. He
Okay.
is a scientific fetterer. He fetters things to taxidermy.
Okay.
He is a reliquary crafter out here in Moldavia. He studied in Cadra. He is kind of good at what he does. He's just one of the only like true fetterers from the east that are here versus how it is done through like cult and ritual out in Moldavia.
Okay. Cool.
He's cooking in the other room.
Sorry, my name's Burke. I apparently, like you, I was taken through the house. And it spat me out here. Your friend Maria found me. Actually, we kind of came out at the same time, I think.
Lysynthia would ask the group, like, do you all come from this house? Are all of you from the house?
I mean, from the house.
Like,
no.
like, where is it? Like, is it near here?
Mm-hmm.
Is it something you can go to? Is it you're saying a house like it's something specific, but there's houses everywhere, right?
When I left, the house wasn't behind me anymore.
So it
Yeah, nor
disappeared.
me.
The house vanished like a haunted manor.
Where
Yes.
I was,
Sure.
it was
Yeah.
just a door in the wall.
That is not the building we're in now, though, correct? We're safe here. This building isn't going to disappear. Like, granted, I do have a lot of experience in vanishing buildings, but this one isn't that building. This is a different place. We are safe here. We should not be worried.
This doesn't look like the one. No.
Oh, I mean, we've got Raimundo here. Like, I've been here a couple of times.
So we are in
Live here.
Moldavia. We didn't get shunted somewhere through the veil.
Oh no. I know. No. We're in Moldavia.
Well, with that, I was told to come out here. While the reunion is great for all of you, I am only going to be staying the evening before breaking, when the storm breaks, heading to the airship that crashed. I'm to recover some stuff that is there. do the two of you, points to Burke and to Maria, know anything about the ship that crashed? I brought these two as a guide to get me here.
Well, Burke, you remember what Clem and Clara said? The storm had knocked it down, but then the captain tried to flee, and the parachute bombed out on her, and she died.
We did encounter
And-
somebody wearing an air marshal patch on the other side of the building, burnt to a husk after the tendrils and things flew out. I'm assuming that's similar to what happened over here. Same creature.
Yeah, so I think they said, because Clem was able to get some information from the scene, from the spirits there.
Mhm.
It seems like the captain was both a follower of Hand of Air and then also a keeper, and they were transporting something that was probably the creature.
Okay.
Then the ship started, I don't know if it got hit by the ether storm or what, but it started malfunctioning. It was going to crash. The captain tried to bail.
The ether storm caused the ship to crash, and the air marshal was not. All right, these mountains are
it was
different
her
than
name.
what I'm used
I don't
to.
remember what her name. I don't remember what her name was. But yeah, she bailed, and she died.
Stayed too long in the storm. Can't hang in the wind like that. Not for long.
Well, she didn't
Does stuff
land
to
very
you.
well. She didn't land very well, and then,
What about
then
the
we
bodies?
saw-
Were there bodies when you came through?
we didn't stay around long enough to find out because we were trying to find shelter.
Right, but did you see bodies from the crash? Were there people?
We saw one or two. We saw the body of the marshal, air marshal, and then I think we might have seen like a couple of others, but we were also being chased by a creature that may or may not have been one of those things.
And what the fuck are those things?
I don't know, but they
think
reeked
they-
to natural fire.
I think
And
they
we're-
got loose during the crash.
Yeah, they got loose during the crash.
Now, with that said, I would like to point out a card that we got, and I'm going to let the group make a choice if they would like to use this. There are upgrades to the lodge or to the outpost that we're in right now. One of them is a library upgrade, and I believe someone played it. The improved library card. We have one from Anro. You can pick a lore that the library has books on, that if you take a downtime to do research here or whatever, it is considered a trained skill, even for people who don't have it. If you're already trained in that lore, that specific lore, you get a +1 to your roll. This one, if you would like to use it, you could base it on aberrations, or specifically the keeper that was mentioned from Clem when he talked to you all. Would you like to use the library card to say that this library has books for that? Or do you want to hold it for now since monster parts are a part of this, as KJ plays the second one, just to make a point?
Why not tell me about
Oh, Eric, are we talking about hold on. So we're talking about the this base, right? This lodge?
Yep. It's an outpost. Yep.
Yeah, so about that outpost.
What did you get? Wait, whoa. What are you playing? Were you buying victory out of the gate?
I got 1,000 gales.
Oh my god.
I opened up the pack and I sent that to Todd right away.
Well, fuck me running. So we have 1,000 gales to help improve the outpost as we near the end of the evening. My question is, do you want to use the library to give the library lore on that specific creature?
Creature or keeper?
Keeper.
Might as well.
Because it would let you get an idea of how to deal with these things.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea.
All right. So we'll use the card. This was Anra's. I'll mark library over here. We'll get that added into this handout. and we're going to do it on the lore for this keeper. Like Cynthia says, well, if this place is an outpost and there are books in the room that I passed through, I noticed there's a small set of shelves. Let's see if we know anything. And then you said there's a man here that might know or has been here for a while. Should we speak to him? And as you guys are talking, you hear a bell go off. And you know if you are at the outpost staying inside or outside of its warm weather, the bell is a dinner bell.
I'm like, oh, dinner's ready.
She says, I'm sorry, what? And Reiki is already gone.
I'm right behind him.
And you hear pots and pans, the sound of metal clanking and spilling, and the man says something in another language. Cynthia is like, oh shit, and runs as well as Reiki's head is in the pot of whatever it is that is being cooked, eating it.
Oh, buddy.
This man has no idea what the fuck he is. There is no such thing as dinosaur-like creatures in Moldavia. They're not something that is common in snowy lands up here. There are lizards, but not this kind. He is freaking out. His licensee is like, don't shoot him! Don't shoot him! As she's running through the house. Does the camera have a shot of all of you following? Are you walking or rushing?
I'm pretty worn out after all my running.
Yeah,
locking doors.
you did a lot of fucking steps today. Pokemon would be very proud of you.
Yes, 100%.
Very proud. Anyone else running or y'all walking?
I'm walking
I'm
because it
slow
was the
rolling.
dinner bell and the we just ran around this huge fucking house. I'm gonna take my time and
Yes, you did. You did definitely.
yeah.
So if you're all walking, are you rocking too, Georgia, or are you running?
Oh, yeah, I think Georgia will start walking after giving her brother kind of a look.
I think
What's
Bert
wrong?
ran because he's hungry.
Burke hasn't had a real meal in almost a year, so he's.
There we go.
No,
I
for
forgot. Yeah, you haven't eaten really. So you run. You see Reiki's got one head in a pot. The man has that wand out and he's starting to spark fire around it. As Cynthia hits the door frame telling him don't shoot, she calls Reiki's head out of his face is just covered in stock and stew. And he sits down and waits now that he's been told as the rest of you show up. He's like, I will bring it into the dining room, you fucking monster. And it looks at him. He's like, Reiki, it's fine. Just please go wait out there. And you walk by Reiki. As he walks by you, his face is covered in stew and stew meat. And he lays in the lobby area. Raimundo brings the food out in some old wooden bowls and ladles out stew and some bread for everybody. And says, it seems like everybody is safe. He acts like not a fucking thing has happened today. Granted, you had a fight inside. He does talk about the fight inside and researching, and I would love to get some samples from it to see if it is something I can use to maybe feather spirits to it. It held those children intact so well. Maybe we can use it to feather spirits in a more efficient manner than taxidermied fur and carcass. As he's ladling soup to people. How is everybody? Is everybody safe? Is anyone wounded?
No, I'm fine.
The rest of you? Excellent. We'll enjoy the food. I'm going to take my bowl with myself to research these creatures a little bit. I have some of the samples to look into at the study. So if you need me, I'll be upstairs in the study. And he leaves you all alone in the room. Lysynthia, Reiki, and the food. I need everybody to give me a fortitude save for the end of the day.
Okay.
Reiki
25.
has to make one. And okay.
Using
Okay.
a patch.
Using a patch, okay.
I'll spend my hero point.
God.
Okay.
I got a 19 on the die.
Ooh, much
Okay.
better.
Nice.
Ethauntia dice. Thank you for 27.
Nice. 26 for me.
Those are really good fort
And an
saves.
18 on the die.
Really good fort saves. Everybody is
25.
over a 20.
Yeah.
You eat your food. There's no ramifications, no illness, nothing sets in. Everyone seems fine for the day. You eat and have conversation about what's going on, about researching what's here. The sound of children, or at least a child running upstairs. Reiki eventually leaves to go see what is in the house. Lysynthia eventually grabs a place to kick up and rest after the long travel. The ether storm continues through the night as everybody rests. And I only need to speak to the two who traveled here to close out our show.
Oh.
Yes. You made your fort saves earlier. You're right, Kelly. You do need to take those off. Wave bye, Todd and Kelly, as I close out with these two for the evening. I did ask them to make rolls, and I did ask them to make fort saves. What I didn't tell them is that they are already infected, and that was the second save that they made to fend off the beginning of the infection. And the infection didn't come from the ship. It didn't come from that at all. It's actually something that they've brought with them from the darkest house. The infection did not spread from just this crash in the area. And unfortunately, the only person out of the three that traveled here that did not fail the save is Reiki. It is a DC 30 to not be infected by the thing. That's the look we're looking for, Allie. So, both of you have level 1 of the infection. I will tell you the infection has 4 stages. You currently have the first. At any point in time during the show, you can sacrifice 10 hit points to ignore a save or die. Those hit points, though, are permanently gone. Once you get rid of the ailment, all your hit points come back, and you are back to normal. If you ever get to stage 3, it is incurable. And you become one of the creatures for the rest of the season, or at least until they figure it out.
Great.
I would like to know if either one of you have a superstition you would like to make to re-roll your failed save for tonight.
I mean, I rolled an 18 on the die. My fortitude save is only an 8. I can't make it.
That's
So,
not
no.
true. You had food today. DC is different.
Huh?
Oh.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh. Oh.
I had
Okay.
food today, so
you
it's
just
different.
ate dinner. The DC is different.
I still rolled an 18 on the die, and I didn't make it.
That was yesterday. I'm talking about right now.
I am too. I just rolled an 18 on the die, and I didn't make it.
I understand your words, Drew. I am asking you a question. Do you have
Doesn't
a
make any sense.
superstition? You just don't like what I'm saying. That's not the same thing. You didn't make the save, Drew.
Correct.
Would you like to re-roll is what I'm asking you. Would you like a superstition or spend a hero point to re-roll your save? There are numbers above 18 on a d20.
There are.
That's my point.
No, because I could roll and make a much worse save. I could critically fail it.
That is true. That is feasible. I will say the DC is easier because you just had dinner.
The DC is easier than this roll would have counted, wouldn't it?
Nope. Not until you research. I'm not telling you anything else. I'm not answering your questions.
doesn't.
I am
make sense.
offering you a DC that is easier. I'm not telling you why if you'd like a reroll. Or you can just ride with what you have. I'm fine with you having infection level 2.
Oh, so we have. Cool. So it's level 2 now because it's. Yeah.
Would you like a superstition or would you like to reroll?
I'll use a patch to reroll.
You can do that too if you'd like. That's absolutely fair.
Sure. Awesome. So that's 10 less on the die than I rolled before. So that's a 16.
Okay. So 18 on the last one, 16 on this one. And Allie, what did you get?
I initially got a 25.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, my first roll is a 26. This is a 16.
26.
yeah, I will go ahead and do a reroll. I'm going to go ahead and patch it up.
Basically, you're aiming. You're aiming for a 20. That's what I'm telling you right now.
Cool.
Cool. I would also like to go ahead and use a card to get a +2 to a save.
Now remember, your slow. I guess it wouldn't matter because you're sleeping, but you could do that. You can absolutely use it.
Yeah.
Because the slow
gonna
won't
do
matter
that.
because you're sleeping. So absolutely.
Okay, come on.
Would you like to use the add a cost as well, Drew? You already rolled it. It wouldn't really have done
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't matter. I wouldn't be able to hit a 20. It's a 16. It's not a +4.
The add a cost
Sorry.
is from Allie's. We're gonna use hers since she's rolling. What did you get on that? Was that a 1?
I got a 19 on the dice, +2 for a 21, plus my +9 for fortitude for a 30.
You are now clear of the disease. But you do know your brother has it because you can smell it on other people. With that, I will give you extra information. You know Lysynthia is infected. You know Raymundo is infected. And you know that the twins upstairs are infected. You can smell them in the house. Allie, before you made that roll, you also could smell that they were infected. With that, we will end the show knowing who's infected in the house. We'll be in Act 3 with research and everything else. At night when you slumber, it is restless. You still get a full night's sleep at stage 2, but it is a restless slumber. You wake up in a cold sweat. Your bed is covered, stained from sweating through the evening. But you do wake up the next morning, feeling yourself, but there's still something just not right. Wave by, you two. Allie, take your headphones off because you made your save.
Oh.
Hey, Drew. I love that you like to argue with me with saves. And I know you don't
Didn't
like
make
the
any
numbers.
sense.
It doesn't have to make sense for you. You're not GMing.
It's fair.
You didn't make the save. She did. Whatever room you're sleeping in, whenever you see her the next day, you know she is no longer infected. Would you feed off of her in her sleep to reinfect her?
No.
I would need a will save for that, DC 15.
Okay. 13 on the die, so a 22.
You don't have to refeed on her. You do feel the urge to eat and feed and reinfect people, but you are good for the day. Stage 2 is different than stage 1. Now you can still give up 10 hit points at any point in time to stop a death save. You also have the ability to have a tendril reach attack of 10 foot if you like, at the cost of 5 hit points. Those can be healed, they're not permanent. You just explode tendrils from you for a reach attack. It does do 2d10.
Okay.
Wave by, Drew. Take your headphones off. Tell the audience who watched this, thank you so much for joining and watching Drew argue with me like he's the GM for the show. He's not, but he means it in good spirit. For the audience that's here, I need one person to roll me a d20 roll for Raymundo. See, the problem is Raymundo, he's already at stage 3, and if he fails this roll, he'll be at stage 4 for the next episode. So if I could get a d20 in chat, I'd like to write down what Raymundo is. Because remember, we were playing The Thing. We only have one episode left of this piece. 17. That is enough for Raymundo. He stays at stage 3. He does not go to stage 4, which means that they still have a chance to save him. I need one other D20 roll for one of the taxidermied creatures in the house to see if they pull themselves free from their pedestal from the night. So give me one more and we'll close out our show here. I hope, I'm going to randomly roll which one it is. I have a whole list of the taxidermy creatures here. I hope it's not the bird. I really hope it's the large creature in the living room, but we'll see. So give me one more D20 and we'll see what we get. That was a 9 and a 17. Okay. One of the creatures is free for the evening. Thank you so much for that roll. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for our campaign 2 of Ethauntia. This is the second part of 3 for our version of The Thing. This will continue on for 13 episodes for campaign 2. If you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, up on this side, there's going to be a circle to click. That's to be, part of the family. One of the citizens of Merrifield. And on this side, there'll be a video to watch. I'm guessing it's probably going to be John Wick. If you haven't caught any of those yet, that is our 1970s Everyday Heroes version of John Wick. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will be back next week. But remember, on Thursday, we will be back with Watching Paint Dry, with chances for you to win the brand new box painted by 88 Riddles. And on top of that, our Delving Wood stuff came in. I'll see you Thursday at noon, everybody. Have a great night, and thank you for joining us.